Chapter 1736. Ah, what should I say about you? I didn't want to fight to the death with you last time. I can tell you the reason. It's because I still have important things to do. Getting injured will affect me and affect my ranking in the clan. Even if you didn't come last time, I would have returned. So, I simply let you have my territory for 3 years. Now that I'm back and you still haven't left, you're courting death. Demon Throat looked at Night Sorrow as if he was looking at a fool. I've always respected my opponent, but you don't deserve my respect. Courting death? I'm afraid you don't have the right to say that. Night Sorrow swung his reincarnation spear to the side. Go to hell. Demon Throat flapped his wings and charged towards Night Sorrow. His speed was extremely fast, much faster than last time. Shameless boasting. Night Sorrow activated his void spacetime domain and waved his left hand. A void heaven-covering hand slammed towards Demon Throat. In the past, Night Sorrow's heaven-covering hand was powered by the power of Desolates. After the power of Desolates evolved into the power of time, the fusion of time and space attributes, forming the spacetime attribute, it had never been used. Now that it was powered by the void energy, it was much stronger than the power of Desolates. The purple energy hand slammed towards Demon Throat. Demon Throat's saber trembled, and a shadow appeared on the saber. With a roar, it charged towards Night Sorrow's energy hand. After a loud explosion, Night Sorrow and Demon Throat separated. Not bad. Then you still have to die. Demon Throat roared and charged towards Night Sorrow again. Shut up. You were the one who ran away last time. How dare you speak nonsense again? I hate people like you. If I knew you were like this, I wouldn't have let you go last time. I would have spared your dog life. Night Sorrow was a little angry. He hated people who boasted. Night Sorrow and Demon Throat fought in the air. They were evenly matched. Night Sorrow's body was tough, but Demon Throat's true chi was abundant. He was already a peak 2-star emperor, one whole level higher than Night Sorrow. In addition, the Demon Wing clan's body was also very strong. Night Sorrow knew why Demon Throat boasted. Last time, Demon Throat didn't have such strength. He was hiding his strength. The 2 Demon Wing clan's elders have been watching and did not move. They believed in Demon Throat's strength. He was a descendant of the Demon Wing clan's royal family. Unable to gain the upper hand in a head-on clash, Demonic Throat let out a low growl. Following that, his body split into 2. Both his main body and his avatar appeared. Energy phantoms appeared behind both of them. That was the totem of the Demon Wing clan's ancestor. When the Demon Wing clan's cultivation technique was cultivated to a certain level, the totem would appear. It would also increase one's strength. Both the original body and the clone went out to fight. Demon Throat wanted to completely kill Night Sorrow. Demon Throat's main body forced Night Sorrow to retreat with a single slash. With the totem's increase, Demon Throat's combat strength had indeed increased a lot. Night Sorrow, who had received some shock, added the power of virtue to his domain. Suppress. Night Sorrow roared. His clone appeared. Then he and his clone used Soul Extinguishing Slash to kill Demon Throat's main body. Then he and his clone attacked Demon Throat's main body at the same time. They used their lost skills, Destruction True Dragon Secret Art. Night Sorrow planned to kill Demon Throat quickly and then retreat. After all, there were 2 Demon Wing clan's elders, whose cultivation he couldn't see, following Demon Throat. If he let Demon Throat be at a disadvantage first, the other party would rush over to support him. Not only would he not be able to kill Demon Throat, but he would also be in danger. Night Sorrow's soul attack was launched. Demon Throat's soul power also burst forth. The halos on his and his clone's horns pulsed rhythmically and flew toward Night Sorrow's Soul Extinguishing Slash Crescent Moon Blade. The remaining halos also flew toward Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow and his clone activated the 9 regions Origin Beads and Green Lotus Jade Bracelet to defend their Divine Sea. Then they continued to rush forward. The Reincarnation Spear and Space Splitter Spear's tips emitted black halos that enveloped the surroundings. Naturally, Demon Throat's main body and his clone were also enveloped. Night Sorrow's Space Splitter Spear was broken by Mo Tianji's white hair. He simply reconnected it. He didn't spend much effort because he wanted to find time to upgrade his weapon. His current refining technique was at the Elementary Monarch realm, but his Array Dao cultivation was already at the Monarch realm. There was a lot of room for improvement in his refining technique. Therefore, he simply reconnected it just to make do with it. When Night Sorrow's power of virtue was added to the Void domain, the domain's power suddenly increased greatly. Demon Throat's domain was directly suppressed and retracted to his side. It was similar to a protective air shield. After suppressing both Demon Throat's main body and his clone, Night Sorrow's main body and his clone attacked Demon Throat's main body. The main body used the Void Extreme Point kill while the clone used the Void Origin kill. Break. After being suppressed, Demon Throat roared and propped up his domain outwards. He knew that Night Sorrow had made his move. He had to reverse the current situation. However, at this moment, Night Sorrow's attack arrived. Demon Throat could only wave his battle blade to block. Following a muffled sound, Night Sorrow's clone's attack was blocked by Demon Throat's battle blade. At this moment, Night Sorrow's main body flashed and attacked Demon Throat's main body, which was retreating. At the same time, both the main body and his clone's left hand slapped out with the void covering hand towards Demon Throat's clone. Controlling Demon Throat's clone and killing Demon Throat's main body was Night Sorrow's tactic. Permanent SD free to look at E, small U8 Demon Throat's main body was bleeding from the corner of his mouth. His soul was affected and he couldn't fully release his true chi. He was already injured by Night Sorrow's clone's Void Origin kill. Night Sorrow's two soul extinguishing Crescent Moon slash were still slashing towards his deity C. At this moment, Night Sorrow's main body's reincarnation spear shook and the destructive True Dragon art was unleashed once more. Devil Throat's main body was affected by the black halo of Annihilation True Dragon's secret art. His aura immediately dissipated. Seeing that he was about to be attacked, Devil Throat's doppelganger, who was still conscious, grew anxious. The wings on his back trembled, and he practically teleported to block Night Sorrow's attack. In that case, I'll kill your clone first before killing your main body. Night Sorrow's main body and the clone that rushed over attacked together. The clone executed the Great Emperor Reincarnation slash while the main body executed the destructive True Dragon art. Demon Throat's clone, who used his blade to block Night Sorrow's main body's attack, was naturally affected by the destructive True Dragon art and the Great Emperor Reincarnation slash unleashed by Night Sorrow's clone. Night Sorrow's reincarnation spear seemed to have shuttled through space and appeared directly in front of Demon Throat's clone's chest, piercing through his body. Explode. At this moment, Demon Throat's main body, who had regained his consciousness, roared. Then his clone swelled up and exploded. The self-explosion of a two-star emperor was too terrifying. Night Sorrow's main body and clone were sent flying. This was because Night Sorrow's domain and body were tyrannical. Otherwise they would be destroyed by the explosion. Disperse. Night Sorrow used the power of the virtuous emperor's verbal law to pacify the violent energy. However, Demon Throat's true body had already fled. The wings on his back flapped and he was extremely fast. He had already left the array formations area. Night Sorrow got up and chased after him for 2 steps. Then he quickly threw out the Holy Spirit Stone and activated the illusion array. The 2 old men brought by Demon Throat were already rushing over. Chapter 1737. Night Sorrow had no choice but to run. If he chased after Demon Throat, the 2 experts brought by Demon Throat would approach the battlefield before he could catch up. By then, Night Sorrow wouldn't be able to leave even if he wanted to. Before leaving, Night Sorrow didn't forget to grab Demon Throat's weapon and undamaged storage ring. Normally, a powerful explosion would destroy a storage ring. Perhaps because of Night Sorrow's energy, Demon Throat's storage ring wasn't destroyed. After teleporting once, Night Sorrow removed the teleportation array and changed the crystal on the teleportation array disk before teleporting again. After a few teleportations, Night Sorrow returned to his first stronghold at the Nirvana seaside. Removing the first teleportation array was for insurance. Night Sorrow didn't remove the teleportation arrays at the back. The Heaven Desolate Mountain was huge. It wouldn't be easy to find a cultivator who was deliberately hiding. Furthermore, Night Sorrow had a spatial treasure to hide himself. It wouldn't be easy to find him. After arriving at the stronghold at the Nirvana seaside, Night Sorrow changed the teleportation crystal on the teleportation array disk. Night Sorrow already had plans. After dealing with Demon Throat, he would cultivate at the Nirvana seaside. He would cultivate while enduring the Nirvana tide to comprehend the worldly momentum. The Nirvana tide contained the worldly momentum of many attributes. Night Sorrow didn't choose this place at first because the Nirvana tide was too violent. His cultivation was too low and it wasn't suitable for him to cultivate here. Now that he had become an emperor through merit, his spacetime and nothingness attributes had improved. His strength had increased greatly so he could try it at the Nirvana seaside. He would have to come into contact with the Nirvana tide in the future. If he didn't, he wouldn't be able to return to the Heaven Desolate City, the Ethereal Empire, and the 9-domain world. However, before that, Night Sorrow had to erase the soul imprint on Demon Throat's storage ring and weapon. Otherwise, Night Sorrow would be able to sense it. Although it was suppressed in the Clear Sky Pagoda and it wouldn't be easy to find his location, he had to deal with it first just in case. Demon Throat's cultivation was higher than Night Sorrow's, but his soul power was not as strong as Night Sorrow's. After trying to refine it, Night Sorrow realized that Demon Throat's soul imprint was still very stubborn. After pondering for a moment, Night Sorrow took out the Human Sovereign Seal and infused it with the power of merit, activating the array within the Human Sovereign Seal. The power of merit transformed into a flame of merit, which he channeled into Demon Throat's storage ring and weapon. The power of the fire of virtue was beyond Night Sorrow's imagination. In just a moment, it had erased the soul imprint on Demon Throat's weapon and storage ring. KJ knew 9M soonest, then Night Sorrow entered the 8-Dragon Cauldron and looked at Mo Chenji's corpse, which was wrapped up by the weapon spirit's energy. Mo Chenji's corpse was also an unstable factor, but Night Sorrow had no way to deal with it. He couldn't destroy it at all. He had tried, but weapons couldn't enter her body. This meant that Mo Chenji's level was very high. Night Sorrow had studied it. It wasn't that Mo Chenji's body was very strong, but that there was a layer of protective energy inside her body that he couldn't break. In other words, there was something similar to a mark on Mo Chenji's body. Since he couldn't destroy it, Night Sorrow could only suppress it. The safest way was to return to the Celestial Realm's human territory as soon as possible. That way it would be difficult for the demon winged race to snatch it back. However, Night Sorrow couldn't return now. How could he ask the human race's elders? He didn't want to be involved with the human race's elders anymore. He would do what he could and what he couldn't do. As long as he didn't die, he would be able to survive. Worried about his safety, Night Sorrow communicated with Shao Kong and the weapon spirit of the 8-Dragon Cauldron. Then he kept the 8-Dragon Cauldron in the Clear Sky Pagoda and used 2 spatial magic treasures to suppress it. He isolated other people's senses and Mo Chenji's aura. Then Night Sorrow's clone stayed in the stronghold while his main body flew towards the Nirvana Ocean. When he arrived at the Nirvana Ocean, Night Sorrow saw the Nirvana Ocean waves that were hundreds of feet tall. It was caused by the Nirvana Immortal Wind. Sitting down cross-legged, Night Sorrow began to comprehend the power of heaven and earth contained within the Nirvana tide. However, at this moment he sensed something. Night Sorrow stood up and threw out a punch that shone with golden light. No matter who wants to do divination, you can't. Night Sorrow understood that someone had used divination on him. To be able to sense it in advance was an ability he gained after entering the Virtuous Emperor realm. At this moment, in a city, an old man who was sitting cross-legged spat out a mouthful of blood. This subordinate is useless. Prince, please punish me. The old man stood up and bowed towards Emoho, who was sitting by the side. The image wasn't clear just now. Why did it disappear? Emoho's face was filled with anger. Behind him were 2 old men who were filled with killing intent. He has a method to prevent divination. Therefore this subordinate couldn't do it. The black-robed old man, who was also the divination master of the devil-winged race, said. Emoho waved his hand. He was extremely angry now. He had suffered a loss. His clone was destroyed in the devil-winged race's territory. This was a great humiliation. Additionally, Emoho was clear that if it wasn't for his 2 subordinates, Night Sorrow would have destroyed his main body. Prince, if you can't do it, then send someone to search. The human race didn't attack the Heaven Desolate Mountain. He came here on his own. If he didn't run back, then we can dig him out. One of the old men said. This kid is very cunning. He is an array emperor master. He can set up illusion arrays and teleportation arrays. It won't be easy to catch him. Although he was very angry, Emoho didn't lose his mind. Then what should we do? The old man who spoke asked. Since divination is ineffective, we'll mobilize experts to search for him. Send clansmen with higher soul power than him to scout the Mount Tianhuang. Then we'll set up a trap and catch him off guard. We won't give him a chance to escape using formations, Demon Throat said. The old man nodded and went to make the arrangements. Emoho was the prince of the devil-winged race and had the authority to mobilize the devil-winged race's army. It wouldn't be a problem to mobilize some imperial emperors into the Heaven Desolate Mountain. In addition, the devil-winged race already knew that some of their clansmen had died in the Heaven Desolate Mountain. They also began to clean up the Heaven Desolate Mountain. However, Night Sorrow had already left the Heaven Desolate Mountain. He had expected some things. In the following days, Night Sorrow planned to steadily improve his cultivation. He was anxious to leave the Heaven Desolate Mountain, but being anxious wouldn't solve the problem. He had to have the ability to withstand the nirvana tide. Night Sorrow took out the Clear Sky Pagoda and placed it on the nirvana seaside. He sat at the top of the Clear Sky Pagoda and watched the nirvana waves and nirvana divine wind as he began to comprehend. While his main body was cultivating in the heaven desolate mountain, Night Sorrow's clone in the heaven sealing great hall began to cultivate refining skills. He wanted to improve his refining skills. It was very difficult to cultivate alchemy and refining skills. He had to have materials. Night Sorrow had accumulated a lot of materials. Over the years he had been fighting and robbing. He had accumulated a lot of materials. When he looted nearly 200 cities in the East Hao Mountain, he had earned a lot of materials. Night Sorrow didn't want to cultivate alchemy for the time being. The main reason was that the inheritance wasn't good enough. Cultivating alchemy now would be a waste of materials. As for refining skills, Lin Xin had taught him a lot when he was cultivating array formations. She had also imparted some refining skills so he could cultivate them. Chapter 1738. The heaven desolate mountain was turned upside down. The demon wing race's experts were sent out to search for Night Sorrow's traces in the heaven desolate mountain. However, Night Sorrow had already disappeared and started to cultivate. Time slipped away in this state. Year after year, day after day. In the blink of an eye, 2 years had passed. Night Sorrow had comprehended 20% of his spacetime attribute and entered the 2-star Emperor realm. He had also comprehended 15% of his void attribute. The increase in the realms of these two attributes caused Night Sorrow's domain power to increase by a lot. In addition, his comprehension of the destruction of heaven and earth was also very high. This was because the destruction of waves and destruction of winds contained the strongest destructive intent. Night Sorrow was working hard and waiting. When the destruction domain was truly formed, he would be able to advance towards the level 4 domain power. Although his cultivation was low, Night Sorrow believed that his domain power would be very strong. This was because the 4 attributes were all tyrannical. Void and destruction were the 2 supreme attributes. Time and space were the strongest high-level combat attributes. As for the death attribute in his body, he could only cultivate it in the future to reach the level 5 domain power. After 2 years of cultivation, Night Sorrow's destruction domain power had reached 90%. He was only 1 point away from the Emperor realm. During these 2 years, Night Sorrow had been sitting at the top of the Clear Sky Pagoda. He had cultivated for more than 60 years. The Clear Sky Pagoda had a time acceleration of 50 times. Night Sorrow sat at the top of the pagoda, and with the help of the artifact spirit, it had reached more than 30 times. Night Sorrow was looking forward to his destruction attribute entering the Emperor realm. After entering the Emperor realm and having a completed destruction domain, he could then study the level 4 domain power. The fusion of domains was more troublesome. He had to find common points. It wasn't as if he could successfully fuse domains. It was very difficult. However, Night Sorrow had a plan. He wanted to increase his cultivation while fusing domains. The time it took for him to reach the level 3-star Emperor realm might allow him to study domains. The demon wing race's emperors could be seen flying back and forth in the heaven desolate mountain. They were looking for Night Sorrow's traces. Demon Throat was really angry. He had never suffered such a loss. His clone was destroyed, which directly affected his future achievements. Although his body exploded and his soul power was gathered, he still lost a part of it. The human race's elders in the heaven desolate city didn't know about Night Sorrow's situation. In these 2 years they had tried to divine divination for Night Sorrow twice. But what greeted them was a golden fist. They didn't see anything. Then the image collapsed. That bastard. Tang Zong cursed. Great Sect Elder, 7th Sect Elder, and the various law enforcement sect elders, we are unable to perform any divination right now. This bastard brat's vigilance is too high. As long as we perform a divination before we can see anything clearly, his fist will come smashing out. Elder Zhai Xing said with a bitter smile. Lin Piaomiao was the one who understood Night Sorrow's situation the most in the heaven desolate city. But no matter who asked, Lin Piaomiao would say she didn't know. Everyone was helpless. They all knew that Bai Chuyuan, Xiao Jun, and Li Zongyuan were unfair to Night Sorrow. This made Lin Piaomiao angry. Lu Qi didn't ask Lin Piaomiao. He didn't like to make others unhappy. If others asked him to ask, he wouldn't say anything. He didn't want to force people. If Lin Piaomiao didn't say anything, he wouldn't ask. Lin Piaomiao's main body stayed in 9 Regions City as she watched Yishang research artifact refinement. Yishang had already successfully refined an Imperial Lord level weapon. His artifact refinement technique had reached a certain level, but it couldn't be improved because his cultivation couldn't support it. In the Heaven Desolate Mountain, Night Sorrow's original body comprehended the realm. His clone took out all his high-level materials to evolve the Space Splitter Spear. The evolved Space Splitter Spear had the Blood Cheelan's tail bone as the spear tip. The golden-red spear tip was very domineering. There were sharp saw teeth on both sides of the tip. The body of the spear was silver and there were purple dragon patterns on it. It wasn't for the sake of looking good. It was made of time-purple sand to penetrate the spiral formation. Looking at the new spear in his hand, Night Sorrow knew that it couldn't be called the Space Splitter Spear anymore. Although it still had the feeling of being one with the spear, it wasn't the Space Splitter Spear anymore. Blood Cheelan's Spear. Night Sorrow felt that it was more appropriate to call it the Blood Cheelan's Spear. Holding the Blood Cheelan's Spear, he practiced his spear techniques. Night Sorrow was very excited because there was a feeling of being connected by flesh and blood. It was as if they were fated to be connected and relied on each other. After the last strike, the tip of the Blood Cheelan's spear shone with a golden light. Oh! Night Sorrow realized that something was wrong. When he started practicing his spear techniques, there was no golden light at all. With a shake of his wrist, Night Sorrow practiced his spear techniques again, but the golden light was gone. He didn't find the key. Night Sorrow's body shook. After the last strike, he was about to pull back the spear to find the key. However, the golden light appeared again, which made Night Sorrow understand where the problem was. It was because of his body's strength. When he pulled back the spear, he stretched his muscles and bones. It was his body's strength that drove the Blood Cheelan's spear. After finding the key, Night Sorrow started to use his body's strength to drive the Blood Cheelan's spear. At this moment, the Blood Cheelan's spear shone with a golden light. He understood. Night Sorrow understood. The Blood Kirin was an auspicious beast, a virtuous beast. Its power of merit was hidden in its flesh and bones. It used its body's energy to activate its spear skills. The Blood Kirin's tailbone was stimulated by the power of merit, and it emitted a golden light of merit. It was a lethal golden light of merit. Ah! Night Sorrow laughed. It wasn't appropriate to call the spear the Blood Cheelan spear. The virtuous power could destroy all evil power. It was more appropriate to call it the Blood Cheelan evil-slaying spear. Satisfied. Night Sorrow was very satisfied. The Blood Cheelan evil-slaying spear was formed. It had a good foundation. Even if he cultivated to the Emperor rank in the future, the Blood Cheelan evil-slaying spear could continue to evolve. In front of the 9 region cities' heaven-sealing Great Hall, Night Sorrow, who was studying the array diagram, laughed. What's going on? Lin Shinner, who was drinking tea with Datura, looked at Night Sorrow in surprise. Look at the W edition, chapter/section J. I refined an Emperor rank spear. It was refined from the Blood Cheelan's tail bone that we obtained from the evil-slaying land. Aluo, Sister Shin, do you know? It's really suitable for me. Night Sorrow said happily. That's good. How are you now? Lin Shinner asked. Not bad. I left the Heaven Desolate Mountain and cultivated by the Nirvana seaside. Give me some time and I'll be back, Night Sorrow said. Night Sorrow, you caused trouble in the Heaven Desolate Mountain. They can't find you in the Heaven Desolate Mountain and will expand the search area because they can be sure that you haven't returned, Lin Shinner said. They won't think that I'm back, will they? Night Sorrow looked at Lin Shinner in surprise. No, after you left the Heaven Desolate City, the city closed the star array and no longer used the power of the stars to interfere with the Nirvana tide. Therefore, the Nirvana tide is always wrapped around the sea bridge. Not to mention a 1-star Emperor rank, even a 3-star Emperor rank wouldn't be able to return. Unless you have a rank 4 domain, it's impossible that the demon-winged race doesn't know about this, Lin Shinner said. They tricked me. They're waiting for me to come back, squatting on the sea bridge. How can I return? Night Sorrow was a little angry. The Heaven Desolate City was not giving him a way out. So you have to be careful. The consequences of being careless can be very serious. If you're in danger, you have to inform me immediately. I'll set off from the Heaven Desolate City. It won't take long to find you, Lin Shinner said. Chapter 1739. What's wrong? I'm in Tianhuang City, Lin Shinner explained. It's so far away. By the time you arrive, they will have already chopped me into minced meat. I'd better be more careful. Night Sorrow said. That's true. You have to be careful and hide yourself well. You need time. I'll give you time. When your cultivation is high enough, you won't have to be afraid of anyone or hide from anyone. Lin Shinner nodded. After hearing Lin Xianer's words, Night Sorrow understood some things. The Demon Wings race was sure that he was still in Tianhuang City. They would definitely search for him vigorously and kill him. He had slapped the Demon Wings race's face. The Demon Wings race loved to kill and would not let him go. Night Sorrow took out the Saint Spirit Stones and set up an illusionary killing array and a teleportation array in his cultivation area. Then he continued to build strongholds. Night Sorrow did not have much, but he had a lot of Saint Spirit Stones. He had set up 10 strongholds. The periphery of each stronghold was an illusionary killing array and the interior was a teleportation array. The distance between each stronghold was millions or even tens of millions of miles. The illusionary killing array would not be discovered if it was not touched. Even if it was discovered, it would be difficult to break it. Even if it was broken, it would be impossible to trick Night Sorrow. Once the illusionary killing array was broken, it would explode and the teleportation array would lose its effect. It was impossible to wait. In addition, Night Sorrow's strongholds were not in the shape of a snake. They were arranged according to the array diagram. Every teleportation array was connected to 2 other strongholds. This way he could prevent others from accidentally destroying a stronghold. When he wanted to escape, the path was cut off. He had to ensure that his escape route was clear. *5 Genuine B4 First, U First 0G. After returning to the first stronghold, Night Sorrow took a look at the teleportation crystal on the teleportation array disk. After that, Night Sorrow continued to cultivate. Half a year after Night Sorrow set up his strongholds, he began his first escape. 2 Imperial Emperors appeared in his cultivation area. He had no choice but to run. A year later, 3 strongholds were wiped out. The third one was the most dangerous because Night Sorrow's will of destruction had advanced to the Emperor realm. While he was enduring the tribulation of wind and fire, an Imperial Emperor came. It was only when Night Sorrow realized that the other party was getting closer did he realize it. Fortunately, he had activated the teleportation formation disk in time, so he was not attacked. Night Sorrow's doppelganger had something to do now that the will of destruction had entered the Emperor realm. The doppelganger began to research the fusion of domains while the main body deepened the mastery of the various domains. However, the Devil-Winged clan's pursuit of him had also intensified. Strongholds were eradicated one by one because the Devil-Wing's race knew that Night Sorrow was cultivating at the edge of the Nirvana Ocean. This made Night Sorrow very angry. Night Sorrow entered the Nirvana Ocean and placed the Clear Sky Pagoda at the bottom of the Nirvana Ocean. He sat at the top and started cultivating. Under such circumstances, he consumed Saint Spirit Stones. He could withstand it because he still had more than 2 million Saint Spirit Stones in his storage ring. No matter how much he burned, it would not be a problem. Ho was very angry because he could not catch Night Sorrow. He was anxious because his weapon had been taken away by Night Sorrow. It was made of golden cracking stone and was incomparably tough. It was also said to be indestructible. Moreover, it was his life weapon. If he could not find Night Sorrow, he would not be able to get it back. The energy in the Nirvana Ocean was even more violent. Night Sorrow stayed at the bottom of the ocean, which was more stable than the surface. However, he could still comprehend the will of heaven and earth. His main body increased his cultivation level while his doppelganger deduced the fusion of domains in the Clear Sky Pagoda. After discovering that Night Sorrow was at the edge of the Nirvana Ocean, Ho sent out experts and ordinary Devil Wings race soldiers to eradicate all of Night Sorrow's strongholds. The Nirvana Ocean coast was very long, but it couldn't withstand many people. Ho was sure that Night Sorrow was near the coast. The Heaven Desolate Mountain was cleaned and sealed by the Devil Wings race. It was hard for Night Sorrow to survive. Therefore, Night Sorrow could only survive near the Nirvana Ocean. However, there was no sign of Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow was cultivating at the bottom of the Nirvana Ocean. The Devil Wings race's search was destined to be fruitless because Night Sorrow had disappeared into thin air. The peaceful days passed by quickly. In the blink of an eye, Night Sorrow had been in the Heaven Desolate region for 7 years. In other words, he had been exiled for 7 years. He had also cultivated at the bottom of the Nirvana Ocean for more than 2 years. Cultivating at the bottom of the Nirvana Ocean, Night Sorrow's spacetime attribute increased at a slower rate. However, his void and destruction attributes were increasing rapidly. Why were the Nirvana Ocean waves and Nirvana Immortal Wind so powerful? Because the void and destruction attributes led the other attributes to form an energy storm. Therefore, Night Sorrow's 2 attributes were increasing rapidly. However, the fusion of the void and destruction domains was too difficult. In the 2 years in the real world, Night Sorrow's 2 clones had been constantly deducing. However, Night Sorrow had spent 100 years. However, in 100 years, Night Sorrow still couldn't complete the fusion of domains. This made Night Sorrow understand why high-grade domains were so hard to obtain. Not to mention 1-star and 2-star emperors, even 3-star emperors and monarchs had domains of only one attribute. Why could a powerful emperor fight against a monarch? It was because some talented emperors had already fused their domains. After cultivating to 2-star emperor, Night Sorrow was confident that he could fight against a monarch. However, there was still room for improvement. Therefore he didn't make a move. Additionally, he didn't want to take the risk. The things on him were too important. Whether it was the human emperor's seal or Mo Tianji's corpse, he couldn't lose them. The human emperor's seal was a human Tao divine artifact. He couldn't lose it. Mo Tianji's corpse was too important. Without a body, it would take a long time for Mo Tianji to make a comeback. It was difficult to reincarnate or rebuild a body. It was hard to say if she could recover to her peak. However, if her body was snatched back, Mo Tianji would have a foundation to rise again. Night Sorrow couldn't give her this foundation. Mo Tianji's body was very strong. Night Sorrow couldn't destroy it because her body had Tao runes. That was the power brought about by one's cultivation realm. Without being discovered, Night Sorrow continued to increase his cultivation realm. His clones continued to fuse domains and headed toward level 4 domains. Night Sorrow also knew why the fusion of domains wasn't progressing well. It was why the fusion of domains was only at the edges. There was no progress in the fusion of domains at the core. It was because the void and destruction supreme attributes repelled each other. In the past, the void attribute ruled over the spacetime attribute. Now that the destruction attribute had fused, a problem appeared. There was a conflict between the two attributes. The destruction attribute repelled the void attribute, but the void attribute didn't allow the destruction attribute to take over. This was also the reason why Night Sorrow's 2 clones hadn't succeeded in fusing domains even after 100 years. Chapter 1740. It was too difficult to command 2 supreme attributes because they were supreme attributes. What kind of attribute could be used to command them? Night Sorrow was a little annoyed. His doppelganger in the clear sky pagoda took out the blood-chilling evil-slaying spear and displayed his spear arts to vent his emotions. He had to vent his emotions. Only by doing this could he achieve something. After practicing a set of spear arts, Night Sorrow's body trembled and he put away his spear. E0 Most see new chapter 10_x upper FQ. Following Night Sorrow's last spear strike, the clear sky pagoda was filled with golden light. This was the manifestation of the power of virtue. Night Sorrow slapped his own mouth. At this moment he understood. The reason why the fusion had failed and the progress was slow in the past was because Night Sorrow had always been focused on the fusion of nothingness and destruction. He had never thought about anything else. Now he understood. What was the greatest energy in the world? Virtue was the greatest. The power of virtue was the power recognized by the heavenly Tao. It was the power of humanity in the heavenly Tao. He could use the power of virtue to be the commander of all attributes. He could use the power of virtue to command nothingness, destruction, time, and space. If possible, he could fuse them like this in the future. With this new idea, Night Sorrow put it into practical research. Sometimes he was confused because he did not have a direction. Once he determined the direction and started running, he would get closer and closer to the destination. 6 months had passed in the real world. Night Sorrow's doppelganger had accelerated the deduction for more than 20 years. Finally, the fusion of domains was successful, forming a domain with the power of virtue as the core. Night Sorrow did not know what to call this domain because there had never been such a domain in history. Night Sorrow stopped cultivating and left the top of the clear sky pagoda. He entered the pagoda and took out a jar of wine to celebrate. Although he was still some distance away from becoming a 3-star emperor, his rank 4 domain had already taken shape. It could even be said that it had matured. It could even be said that it was no longer a simple rank 4 domain. If the power of virtue was an attribute, then it would be a rank 5 domain. He could return. A level 4 domain could withstand the tide of nirvana because he had felt it when he was at the clear sky pagoda. The nirvana waves and the nirvana immortal wind were repelled by the domain. His domain was like a small spatial world. The nirvana immortal wind and the nirvana waves had already invaded his domain. They were no threat to Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow drank a jar of wine and calmed himself down. He was too excited. It had been 8 years since he left the celestial realm. He really wanted to go back. It had been 8 years since he last saw the Night Moon Villa and the Star Moon Lake. Although he had an avatar in the 9-domain world, it was an avatar that could not move. Furthermore, it was very different from his original body. Go back? Night Sorrow decided to wait. There were still 1 million Saint Spirit Stones left in his storage ring. Night Sorrow planned to use the 1 million Saint Spirit Stones to cultivate for a while before returning. Night Sorrow had already comprehended 26% of the spacetime attributes momentum of heaven and earth, 18% of the void attributes momentum of heaven and earth, and 15% of the destruction attributes momentum of heaven and earth. It would be very difficult for him to make a breakthrough in the near future. Night Sorrow planned to break through the spacetime and void attributes to see if there was a possibility of leveling up. If he leveled up, his battle prowess would increase. Night Sorrow was very clear about his own situation. Once he left the Nirvana Ocean, danger would descend. He needed to kill his way back because the devil-winged race would definitely intercept him and do their best to kill him. Without strength, the possibility of returning was very low. The Clear Sky Pagoda needed a large amount of Saint Spirit Stones to withstand the Nirvana waves at the bottom of the ocean. 1 million Saint Spirit Stones could only support him for half a year. Time passed in Yishang's intense cultivation. He was preparing for his return and making a breakthrough for his return. When he still had 100,000 Saint Spirit Stones, Night Sorrow finally made some progress. His void attribute had entered the 2-star Emperor realm. His spacetime attribute's progress wasn't very fast. It only improved by 1%. This was the importance of compatibility. Night Sorrow was born with the void attribute and was the most compatible with him. Therefore, his cultivation was the smoothest. The reason why his spacetime attribute's cultivation was fast was also because his innate bloodline was of the spatial attribute. There was compatibility, but the destruction attribute was slightly weaker. There wasn't any possibility of leveling up in a short period of time. Night Sorrow didn't plan to continue staying in the Nirvana Ocean. He wanted to return. Night Sorrow was happy and excited. After hibernating for a few years, he was going to return to the days of passion. He loved fighting even if it was dangerous. He loved that thrilling feeling. It was time for him to return. Night Sorrow prepared for battle. This time he was going to fight with all his strength. No matter who was blocking his way home, he was going to kill them all. Night Sorrow told the 9 Regions Origin Pearl that if he couldn't withstand it, he would choose to self-destruct. The 9 Regions Origin Pearl was going to leave with the Clear Sky Pagoda. He definitely couldn't lose the Clear Sky Pagoda. The Clear Sky Pagoda was a Heavenly Tao Divine artifact. The Heavenly Tao Pagoda also had the Human Emperor's Seal, which was a Human Tao Divine artifact. In addition, the Clear Sky Pagoda was suppressing Mo Tianji's body. These were things that couldn't be lost. After preparing for battle, Night Sorrow's original body and clone merged into one. His body returned from the Nirvana Ocean to the shore. After the fusion of the domains, Night Sorrow's rank 4 domain wouldn't collapse even if he didn't use his Light of Virtue. It was already set. After leaving the shore for some distance, Night Sorrow released his soul force to the maximum and searched for a route. Night Sorrow flew towards the Nirvana Ocean Bridge. As he flew, he scouted the situation. He couldn't teleport now because his stronghold had been destroyed by Devil Throat's men. The king, the heavenly monarch, and the monarch couldn't discover Night Sorrow at all. Night Sorrow was flying at a high altitude. He was close to the sky and close to the tumbling destruction divine wind region. He was getting closer and closer to the Nirvana Ocean Bridge. The Nirvana Ocean Bridge was the land surface of the Nirvana Ocean. It was the only way to get close to the Sky Desolate City. One couldn't fly over the Nirvana Ocean. The area where the Nirvana Ocean and the sky connected was the Nirvana Storm formed by the Nirvana Ocean's waves and Nirvana Divine Wind. Even emperors couldn't withstand it. Otherwise, the Nirvana Ocean wouldn't be a natural barrier. Only the Nirvana Ocean Bridge, which connected the land and the sky, would reduce the power of the Nirvana Tide. Only those above the Emperor realm could withstand it. This was also the reason why Night Sorrow could only fly at a high altitude after leaving the shore. If one was too close to the Nirvana Ocean, flying in the air would be bad luck. Night Sorrow was more than 20 million miles away from the Nirvana Ocean Bridge. Night Sorrow's speed was fast, and he was flying at a high altitude where no one could notice him. He dodged batch after batch of patrolling devil-winged race members. He was getting closer and closer to the Nirvana Ocean Bridge. When he was 100,000 miles away from the Nirvana Ocean Bridge, Night Sorrow was discovered because he met the Devil Wings race's Emperors. When Night Sorrow discovered them, the other party also discovered him. 2 Devil Wings race's Emperors charged towards Night Sorrow. They were guarding the Nirvana Ocean Bridge. Chapter 1741. Night Sorrow raised his speed to the maximum. With the support of his level 4 domain, Night Sorrow's void steps was extremely fast. In a flash he covered a distance. The two demon wing race emperors approached Night Sorrow and waved their sabers. After image body? Night Sorrow used a combat technique that he hadn't used in a long time after image body. Because the clone in Night Sorrow's body appeared, the number of afterimages created by the clone and the main body was so large that the two demon emperors couldn't distinguish which one was the real one. Night Sorrow's real body drew an arc, bypassing the two demon emperors and continued to rush towards the Nirvana Ocean Bridge. Night Sorrow wasn't afraid of fighting, but it wasn't suitable for him to do so now. He didn't know how many people were blocking his path. If he wanted to run, the other party would definitely try their best to kill him. It wasn't wise to fight to the death and exhaust himself. Using afterimage body, Night Sorrow deceived the two defending demon emperors. Then, with the support of his level 4 domain, he continued to fly with void steps. At this moment, they could see the speed of Night Sorrow and the two demon wing race emperors. The demon wing race had a pair of wings on their back. With the help of the wings, they were extremely fast. However, Night Sorrow had the spacetime attribute and the void steps, so his speed wasn't any slower than the demon wing race emperors. With Night Sorrow in front, the two demon wing race emperors couldn't catch up. They just maintained their original distance from Night Sorrow. With Night Sorrow in front, the two demon emperors chased after him. In the 9-domain world, Night Sorrow stood in front of the heaven-sealing palace. His aura was bursting out. He could feel his real body in Tianhuang region, so his battle intent was high. Night Sorrow, what's the situation? Sikong Chuyu and the others came to Night Sorrow's side. Lin Xian'er and Datura were also there. 8 years. I've lived like a savage for 8 years. Now I'm on my way home. No matter how difficult it is, I'll come back. I'll kill whoever stands in my way. In Night Sorrow's eyes, there was something else beneath the fighting spirit. There was longing and even nostalgia because many things had happened in the past 8 years. Although there is no Nirvana storm on the Nirvana Ocean Bridge, the Nirvana Divine Wind and Nirvana Ocean Waves are still there. There is a Nirvana tide that crosses the sky. Therefore you have to test the waters and move forward. If you feel that it is not possible, then retreat, Lin Xian'er said. There won't be such an opportunity. The demon-winged race has already dispatched a large number of monarchs to wait for me at the Nirvana Ocean Bridge. Today I will fight to the death. As long as I don't die, I will definitely be able to go home, Night Sorrow said. What's going on? Lin Xian'er was a little anxious. There are some things that you know. I killed Demon Throat's clone and also killed some of the demon-winged race in the desolate mountain. Now they have dispatched a large number of people to search for me and block my way back. Therefore this time, it's not just the Nirvana Divine Wind and the Nirvana Tide that is blocking my way. The main problem is the demon-winged race's monarchs, Night Sorrow said. Hearing Night Sorrow's words, Lin Xian'er's expression turned solemn. This was because it was too difficult for Night Sorrow to return. Apart from the natural dangers, there was also the demon-winged race's monarchs. What was Night Sorrow's cultivation? He was an emperor. Therefore, Night Sorrow's return was a path of no return. It was a path of no return that could not return home. At the bridgehead of the Nirvana Ocean Bridge, Night Sorrow saw 3 demon-winged race's monarchs. In order to deal with an emperor like me, the demon-winged race sent 5 monarchs in such a short distance. They really think highly of me. Let's see if you can keep me here today. Kill. Night Sorrow's clone appeared. Both he and his clone unleashed their level 4 domains and charged towards the monarchs that were blocking his way. At this moment in the desolate mountain city, Lin Piaomiao told Lu Qi about this matter. She was going to pick up someone. She was a little anxious now because Night Sorrow's situation wasn't too good. She also knew about Night Sorrow's determination. In order to return, he was going to fight to the death. Lu Qi also knew the seriousness of the matter, but he couldn't make a decision on his own. It was the City Lord's order to not pick up Night Sorrow. Countless years had passed, and the City Lord didn't give orders easily. However, when an order was given, it was an ironclad order. This was because the City Lord's order couldn't be wrong. He could only look for the Grand Elder first. After hearing Lu Qi's words, the Grand Elder immediately summoned the Council of Elders and 6 or 7 divination masters. Hurry up and do the divination. The Grand Elder roared at the divination masters. As the divination masters did the divination, an image appeared. Night Sorrow didn't destroy the image because he didn't have time. At this moment he was fighting against 5 monarchs of the Demon Wing clan alone. Night Sorrow's main body and avatar were facing the 6 Imperial Emperors because one of the Imperial Emperors was fighting with his main body and avatar. At this moment, Night Sorrow's actual combat strength could be seen. In the area covered by his level 4 domain, he and his clone were fighting against the 6 monarchs of the Demon Wing clan. They weren't at a disadvantage in terms of speed and weren't at a disadvantage when facing Night Sorrow head-on. This was because Night Sorrow's level 4 domain had the Void attribute and the ability to melt. Not only could the spacetime attribute increase his speed, but it could also slow down the opponent's speed. 2-star Emperor, level 4 domain, and he's not at a disadvantage when facing 6 monarchs. This is a true hero. The Grand Elder was a little excited. He was so excited that his beard was trembling. Grand Elder, there are 6 monarchs and he's only an emperor. Everyone look, the Nirvana immortal wind is still wreaking havoc. If this continues, he won't be able to hold on. Emperor Tang also looked at the Grand Elder. Old bastard, you are a bunch of trash. If you don't dare to fight, I, Night Sorrow, dare to fight. If you have the ability, then keep hiding. Yi Shan sensed a divination skill looking in their direction, so he cursed. Emperor Tang rubbed his nose and turned his head to the side. Divination masters couldn't hear anything, but they could read the shape of the mouth. There were no rookies here. Naturally, they could tell what Night Sorrow was saying from the shape of his mouth. At this moment, Night Sorrow's long hair was fluttering. His battle robe was full of holes and he was barefoot. His body was overflowing with battle intent. Grand Elder, save him. Lin Piao was a little anxious. Go. This is the City Lord's order. The City Lord's order is not wrong. Grand Elder growled. He was also anxious, but the City Lord's order was ironclad. What should we do? Lin Piao paced back and forth anxiously. However, her eyes were fixed on the battle on the Nirvana Ocean Bridge. At this moment, the battle on the Nirvana Ocean Bridge had reached its climax. 6 people and 8 clones were led by Night Sorrow deeper into the Nirvana Ocean Bridge by more than 200,000 miles. At the beginning, Night Sorrow was worried that more experts from the Demon Wing race would join in. But at this point, Night Sorrow was sure that no other Demon Wing race would join in the battle. This was because they weren't far from the Heaven Desolate City. The Demon Wing Imperial Emperor knew this as well. Whether or not they could stop Yi Sorrow would depend on them. Therefore, the real battle had begun. It was like a white knife going in and a red knife coming out. There were only 5 Demon Wing races monarchs left. The monarch who fought with his clone had his head smashed by Night Sorrow's reincarnation spear. However, as a price, Night Sorrow's main body had a bloody wound on his chest. Blood splattered all over his tattered battle robe. Chapter 1742. Is this the result you want? Maybe both sides will suffer or maybe both sides will perish together. Lin Piao roared at the Grand Elder and the others. Grand Elder, should we change the situation and bring him back? Qin Xinjia's face was filled with anxiety. The Grand Elder gripped the armrest of his chair, his fingers digging into it. Don't bring him back. Carving out a path of blood and coming back alive is a crucial step in his growth. The human race needs such a young man. He also needs to take this step. A life of iron and blood has to start with iron and blood. Even if he dies, it's his fate. A voice sounded in the meeting hall. Hearing this voice, no one spoke because it was the voice of the Heavenly Desolation City's City Lord. Watch carefully. This is a path you haven't taken, but he will take it today. The voice sounded again and then there was silence. The battle strength of the Demon Wing clan's monarchs was tyrannical, and many of them were fighting Night Sorrow alone. Night Sorrow was already injured, but as Night Sorrow was injured, another Demon Wing clan's monarch's head was smashed by Night Sorrow's hand. For more. Again. Night Sorrow's doppelganger's right leg was chopped. Although his body was tyrannical and his leg was not chopped off, the energy had broken his leg bone. However, he could still fly and fight. Ah. Lin Piao waved her hand and smashed the table in the meeting hall. The fierce battle continued, but the battlefield was getting closer and closer to the Heavenly Desolation City. The remaining 4 Demon Wing clan's monarchs knew that they would die if they approached the Heavenly Desolation City, but they were not afraid now. They wanted to kill Night Sorrow before they died because they knew that Night Sorrow was the young elite of the human race and the future of the human race. If they didn't kill Night Sorrow, more Demon Wing clan's monarchs would die in his hands. With a loud explosion, another Demon Wing clan's monarch's head was pierced by Night Sorrow's blood-chilling evil-punishing spear. Fight. Night Sorrow had already consumed more than half of his energy. The 3 monarchs of the Demon Wing clan were in a much better state than him. After all, their cultivation bases were deeper than Night Sorrow's. Although they were injured, they still had more energy than Night Sorrow. Old bastards. Remember this. If I come back alive, you'd better not provoke me. If you provoke me, I don't even need the Demon Wing clan to kill you. Night Sorrow roared. No one doubted Night Sorrow's words. Night Sorrow's cultivation was low, and the people here could easily crush him like an ant. However, no one could achieve such a soaring battle intent. Night Sorrow knew that if this continued, he would be the first to fall. Virtuous domain. Night Sorrow roared, and virtuous power burst forth and joined the domain. Immediately, Night Sorrow's domain was filled with mighty golden light. With the suppression of the domain, Night Sorrow's blood-chilling evil-punishing spear erupted with offensive power. His main body and clone attacked at the same time, unleashing soul-extinguishing slash, spatial rend, and destruction true dragon incantation at the same time. This was an all-out attack. The two Demon Wing Imperial Emperors attacked by Night Sorrow failed to dodge due to their exhaustion and the Nirvana Tide's influence. They were killed by Night Sorrow. However, Night Sorrow was struck repeatedly. His main body had been punched in the back. Although it didn't shatter his body, the energy had penetrated his body and blasted open the right side of his chest. An arrow of blood shot out just like that. At the same time, his left knee had been slashed. Although the bone hadn't been shattered, his flesh and tendons had all been severed. Die. Night Sorrow roared. The Avatar's blood-Kirin evil-punishing spear erupted with a golden light and shot out. This spear was overbearing and peerless. Night Sorrow's Avatar's energy had completely erupted. The blood-chilling evil-slaying spear pierced through the last Imperial Emperor's Dantian and nailed him to the Nirvana Ocean Bridge. At this time, Night Sorrow's domain was also unstable because he had consumed too much energy. Fortunately, these Demon Wing Imperial Emperors were all 4-star kings. They had all just entered the Imperial Emperor realm, so their combat strength was not ridiculously strong. Night Sorrow knew that if there was a 5-star monarch or a 6-star monarch, he would be dead by now. After consuming the Mystic Stone Elixir and Spiritual Liquid of Origin, Yishang kept the blood-Kirin evil-slaying spear, the horns, storage rings and weapons of the Demon Wing Imperial Emperors. His doppelganger merged with his true body and flew towards Tianhuang City. He couldn't hold on any longer. His energy couldn't keep up. The Mystic Stone Elixir and Spiritual Liquid of Life couldn't keep up with his consumption. He won. An emperor killed 5 Imperial Emperors. This is an eternal song. Emperor Tang was somewhat excited. This is simply a miracle. He's a 2-star monarch. Gucci was very excited. Activate the star formation and affect the Nirvana Tide. Let's go out and welcome him. Grand Elder was also very excited. Night Sorrow flew on the Nirvana Ocean Bridge. He had to quickly reach Tianhuang City. He estimated that he could last for 15 minutes. There was still some distance to Tianhuang City. While Night Sorrow was flying, the star formation of Tianhuang City began to activate. It borrowed the power of the stars in the sky to affect the Nirvana Tide. The pressure on Yishang lessened as he flew. 15 minutes later, Yishang saw the heavenly desolate city. Look at the original version, chapter, section. This time, the city gates were opened. All the elders of the human race appeared. Some of the soldiers stationed in the city also appeared on both sides of the gate. There were also some commanders. Night Sorrow landed 3,000 meters away from the desolate city. He could no longer fly due to the influence of the energy of the stars. He was still bleeding after landing. The tendons in his left leg were broken, so he had to drag his left leg forward step by step. It was rather difficult for him to walk. Every step he took would leave a bloody footprint, accompanied by the sound of his feet stepping on sand and stones. A path of blood, a true path of blood. Night Sorrow left Tianhuang City in a white battle robe. His hair was neatly combed into a bun. However, at this moment, half of his face was covered by his long hair. There were many holes in his robe. He didn't have any battle boots. The tattered battle robe only covered the back of his feet. The vicissitudes of life and the blood-stained battle robe gave Night Sorrow a biting cold aura. Night Sorrow approached the city gate step by step. Lin Piaomiao flashed to Night Sorrow's side and reached out to help Night Sorrow. Sister Xianer, I'll walk the way home myself. Night Sorrow looked at Lin Piaomiao. Then he shook his head and continued to walk towards the city gate. It was very quiet. Only the rustling of Night Sorrow's feet could be heard. I'm here to bring you into Tianhuang City. The Grand Elder looked at Night Sorrow and said, That's not necessary. You said I was a traitor of the human race and exiled me. Whether I was wronged or not, I, Night Sorrow, will be the scapegoat. Have I given you enough of an explanation? Night Sorrow asked. The Grand Elder wanted to say something, but he didn't know how to start. Chapter 1743. Sister Xian'er, take me to the teleportation array. I want to go home. Night Sorrow ignored everyone and staggered into Tianhuang City. Okay, let's go home. Lin Xian'er didn't care about the bloodstains on Night Sorrow's body and reached out to support Night Sorrow's shoulder. Wait, since you've come to the place where Yan Wushuang died, you should talk about the human emperor's seal. Make it clear before you leave. Li Zongyuan blocked Night Sorrow and Lin Xian'er's path. You want to know about the human emperor's seal? Then you can ask my master, the unparalleled sword emperor. However, because you haven't asked about him for many years, there's no one to ask now. If you want the human emperor's seal, it's simple. Go find it yourself. Night Sorrow sneered. How dare you? This is Tianhuang City, the territory of the human race's council of elders. It's not a place where a brat like you can boast shamelessly. Li Zongyuan was furious. I know this is Tianhuang City and I know how domineering you are. You can banish me once and you can do it a second time. However, you have to give a suitable reason the second time, right? Night Sorrow pushed Lin Piaomiao away and stood up straight. His eyes under his messy hair shone brightly. He was now extremely disgusted by the words human race's council of elders. This concerns the entire human race. There is a reason for banishing you, but why not banishing others? Li Zongyuan asked. Is that what you're saying? Killing someone without asking who is right or wrong can also give a reason. Because you deserve to be killed, why didn't we kill others? I don't want to talk to you now. Either you let me go or you continue to banish me. Nodding to Lin Xian'er, his clone entered the clear sky pagoda and used the time to recover his injuries. At the same time, he also recovered his energy. Li Zongyuan, don't you think your words are unreasonable? You clearly know that banishing Night Sorrow last time was wrong, so what's the point of saying these words now? We humans win people over by virtue. What do you mean by what you said just now? Qin Xinjia said discontentedly. Everyone calm down first. Let's not talk about anything else. Night Sorrow has just killed 5 emperors from the Demon Wing clan. That's a merit. If he wants to go back, then go back. We'll talk about other matters later. The Grand Elder pointed the coiling dragon spear at the ground and said. 2 hours later, Night Sorrow stood up and said, Elder Sister Xin, or if you have time, please send me back. I don't know the teleportation route back home. Alright, let's go back first. It's good that we came back alive. Lin Piaomiao nodded, tears welling up in her eyes. The current Night Sorrow made her heart ache. It was too tragic. Sister Xian'er, I'm fine. Didn't I come back alive? Night Sorrow nodded at Lin Piaomiao. Everyone stepped aside and watched as Lin Piaomiao left with Night Sorrow. No one stopped her. Lin Piaomiao brought Night Sorrow onto the teleportation array and left. This is the courage of us humans. Seeing such a young man is equivalent to seeing the dawn of humanity. Emperor Tang said as he let out a sigh of relief. What can a person who doesn't see the big picture do? Li Zongyuan said. What bullsh****? If you see the big picture, you're awesome. Why don't you kill your way out? That's something. Show it to everyone. A man in black said. Great Demon King, what do you mean? Li Zongyuan looked at the man in black. You don't know what I mean? Then I'll be more direct. I don't like you. Is that clear enough? The man in black looked at Lin Fan with disdain. Can you put harmony and stability first in your heart? Li Zongyuan's face was ugly. If you don't have harmony in your heart and a stable view of the big picture, I'll test your combat strength first. Also, half of the people in Tianhuang City won't live well. The great Demon King in black turned and left. Before he left, his eyes were full of disdain. Li Zongyuan didn't say anything because he didn't want to be unlucky. He didn't want to provoke a thorn like the great Demon King. No one knew what a crazy great Demon King could do, and the Sky Extreme Saint Emperor was an example. Because the great Demon King didn't like him, he didn't even dare to show his face now. During the teleportation, Night Sorrow's injuries were getting better. He had suffered some serious injuries in this battle and there was still the energy of the Demon Wing clan's emperor in his body. However, it didn't hurt him at all. In the 9-domain world, Night Sorrow's clone returned to the Heaven Sealing Palace because the dust had settled. Chuyu, let's go to Ethereal City to welcome Night Sorrow. Lin Xian'er said to Sikong Chuyu and the others. Then the group arrived at Star Moon Lake. Dachura called for the upper echelons of the Chaos Domain to go to Ethereal City. When they arrived at Ethereal Empire, Lin Xin returned to her Ethereal Battle Empress attire. Lin Piaomiao and the people of the Chaos Domain stood in front of the teleportation array and waited. Then the elders and 7 palace lords of Ethereal Empire also arrived. They didn't know what was going on. When they arrived, Song Ning told them that Night Sorrow was coming back. This guy was exiled. He's very powerful to be able to fight his way back. Lin Qixing muttered. He faced the encirclement of 5 Demon Wing Clan's Emperors alone and killed all of them. Someone like you will fall instantly in front of him. Lin Piaomiao said. Lin Piaomiao's words stunned the palace lords of Ethereal Empire. Lin Qixing was a 3-star monarch and was the strongest monarch in Ethereal Empire. Elder Luo, let the elders and palace lords of the City Lord Mansion take a look at this memory crystal ball later. Lin Piaomiao threw a crystal ball to Luo Yuandao. It was the scene of Night Sorrow's battle. Lin Piaomiao recorded the divination scene. She wasn't the only one. Many people had recorded it. Forever and forever free of charge. Look at too small, you said. After waiting for half a day, Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao appeared in front of the teleportation array. Seeing Night Sorrow, everyone who knew him had tears in their eyes. 13. Alway threw herself into Night Sorrow's arms. 6. Senior sister, I'm back. It's fine. Why is everyone here? I originally wanted to wash up before going back. I'm in such a sorry state now. Night Sorrow patted Alway's back and said, now you're a real man. Wu Feng went up and patted Night Sorrow's shoulder. Then the group arrived at Night Moon Manor. Night Sorrow went to take a shower first. He had to clean up. Yuan Dao, Song Ning, prepare for the Misty Dynasty. If Night Sorrow wants to fight, then we'll destroy the Celestial Sect first, Lin Piaomiao said. Okay, we'll help Night Sorrow take down the Celestial Sect. Song Ning nodded. If we don't help, Night Sorrow will be able to destroy the Celestial Sect. The main problem is territory. He has no one to take over, Lin Piaomiao said. After an hour, Night Sorrow came out after taking a bath. He didn't tie his hair into a bun. Instead, he simply tied it behind his neck with a silk ribbon. He wore a loose robe that reached the floor. However, as he walked, everyone saw that Night Sorrow wasn't wearing combat boots. He walked barefoot on the ground. 13. You don't have combat boots anymore? Yang Lei asked. Chapter 1744. Son of AB***, these animals. Yang Lei cursed. Looking at Night Sorrow's current state, she knew how much Night Sorrow had suffered. K\update the most F*** hurry up, Night Sorrow, Ling Daoshu from the Celestial Sect informed by Chuyuan. When do you plan to attack? The troops are ready, Lin Piaomiao said. No hurry, they can't run away. I plan to rest for a few days, Night Sorrow said. Everyone knew that Night Sorrow needed some time alone, so they all left. Night Sorrow talked with his wives for a while. Looking at the early evening lights in Ethereal City, Night Sorrow left the Night Moon Villa and went to the Twilight Tea House. Chin Chin, who had been informed by the servants, went to Night Sorrow and gave him a hug. He patted Night Sorrow's shoulder heavily and did not say anything. Yishang entered the moon-admiring pavilion alone. He wanted to feel the calm moon. After making a pot of tea, Night Sorrow found that everything was still for a moment. Then a middle-aged man appeared in the room. The middle-aged man was wearing a loose robe with a smile on his face. He still had short, lean hair. Tran Hung. Tran Hung, the rider of the Celestial Demon List. Brother Chin, you're here. Please take a seat. Night Sorrow stood up and invited Tran Hung to sit. I know you're back, so I came to see you. After a few years of training, you've become stronger. You're really strong inside. With an invincible heart, you're invincible. Tran Hung sat across from Night Sorrow. Thank you, Brother Tran Hung. I'm lucky that I didn't die. Night Sorrow muttered. The human patriarchs in the Tianhuang city are a mix of good and bad. You were exiled because of some people's selfishness, Tran Hung said after taking a sip of tea. If you know that being banished is wrong, you can at least bring me back, right? Just leave him outside and let him perish on his own? Yishan was angry. That was the order of the mayor of Tianhuang City. Don't think that he was trying to harm you. The mayor of Tianhuang City has a unique skill, the Great Prophecy spell, which can predict a person's fate. He must have thought that you would encounter difficulties but not die, so he made this decision. This is a training for you. You must have learned a lot, right? Tran Hung looked at Night Sorrow and said, Fortunately, there are some gains. Night Sorrow said after being stunned for a moment. There were some things that he didn't know, but he understood that great prophecy was definitely a heaven-defying skill. Ah, some gains? Your body of virtue has made you an unprecedented virtuous emperor. Is the inheritance of the peerless sword emperor not precious? Also, keep the human emperor's seal well, Emperor Qin said to Yishang. Senior knows about this? Knight Sorrow looked at Tran Hung in surprise. I told you not to call me senior, just call me Brother Qin. I know some things. You don't have to worry. The virtuous emperor's seal is yours. No one can take it away from you because you are the virtuous emperor. That is the power of the virtuous emperor. Tran Hung corrected Knight Sorrow. Okay, Knight Sorrow understands. Knight Sorrow nodded. I came to find you for another matter. Emo Chinji's body is in your hands. What do you plan to do? Tran Hung looked at Knight Sorrow and asked. Brother, you are omniscient. I didn't have to rush back and continued to find a place to cultivate. In Mount Tianhuang, I could just throw my spatial treasure into the ground and continue to hide. I risked my life to come back, but I was worried that Emo Chinji's body would be sensed by Emo Chinji and be taken back, Knight Sorrow said. I understand. I'm just worried about how you will deal with this body. Tran Hung nodded at Knight Sorrow. Brother, do you have any good ideas? Knight Sorrow looked at Tran Hung and asked. Yes, I can help you destroy it. Or you can find a place where they can't find it or take it back. Hiding it will bring you more benefits. We know in our hearts that we won't give it to them no matter what, but they don't know that. That's why their hands are tied. With this in hand, you will have the confidence to cheat others as you wish, Qin Huang said. Is that okay? Knight Sorrow smiled. It's not the first time you've tricked people. If you want to negotiate, you can ask them to give you a greeting gift. Of course, you won't be satisfied with any greeting gift, right? Then let's not talk. Tran Hung said what Knight Sorrow didn't dare to think. That's indeed possible. Before Big Brother came, I planned to send Emo Chinji's body to the 9 regions world to be suppressed, mainly because I was worried that there might be some kind of trump card hidden in this body. If she suddenly came back to life, my world would be turned upside down. Yishang expressed his concerns because of Guizu's precedent. Take it out. Brother will help you seal it. Tran Hung nodded at Knight Sorrow. Knight Sorrow brought Emo Chinji's body out of the 8-dragon cauldron. Emo Chinji looked like she was asleep. Her long white hair covered the ground. Tran Hung clasped his hands together and his fingers vibrated. A void array was formed. As he pressed his hands down, the void array merged into Emo Chinji's body. It's done. Her body doesn't have a soul. Brother has placed a seal on it. Other souls can't get close to her and won't occupy her body. In fact, she's afraid of death now. It won't take long for her to negotiate. Tran Hung said after placing a seal on her body. She's afraid? Knight Sorrow asked after putting Emo Chinji's body into the 8-dragon cauldron. Of course she's afraid. She's more afraid than being destroyed. There are some things you don't understand. Also, don't hate the human race's sect elders. Good and bad things happen everywhere. You're a human. You can't change your outlook on life because of some people's wrongdoings, Tran Hung said. Brother, don't worry. I'm a human. I'll naturally do my best for the human race. Knight Sorrow nodded. Tran Hung smiled at Knight Sorrow and left. Everything in the Twilight Tea House returned to normal. After drinking a cup of tea, Knight Sorrow returned to the Night Moon Villa and found Lin Xian. Knight Sorrow told Lin Xian that Tran Hung had come to see him. Tran Hung is the creator of the demon and god list. His abilities are monstrous. It's not surprising that he knows some things, Lin Xian said. Tran Hung said that Emo Chinji is afraid? I can't destroy this body. Why does he say that she's more afraid than being destroyed? Knight Sorrow asked, puzzled. Her body has Dao aura. It's difficult for swords and sabers to hurt her. However, it's not difficult for an emperor to destroy it. What's more frightening than being destroyed is that she's afraid of being desecrated. She's a woman. If you're a villain and find a male beast to desecrate her, her Dao heart will be destroyed and she'll completely sink into depravity. Do you think she's not afraid? This might be the reason why the Demon-Winged clan sent so many people to stop you from coming back. Lin Xian said. Damn. That's a little despicable. I won't do that, Knight Sorrow said after being stunned for a moment. You won't do it, but she's afraid. This is a war between races. They'll do anything, Lin Xian said. It seems that I'm still the center of this conflict. My cultivation isn't enough. Knight Sorrow could imagine what he would face in the future. Chapter 1745. Son of AB***. These animals. Yang Lei cursed. Looking at Night Sorrow's current state, she knew how much Night Sorrow had suffered. Night Sorrow, Ling Daoshu of the Celestial Sect informed by Chu Yuan. When do you plan to attack? Everyone is ready, Lin Piaomiao said. No hurry, they can't run away. I plan to rest for a few days, Night Sorrow said. Everyone knew that Night Sorrow needed some time alone, so they all left. Night Sorrow talked with his wives for a while. Looking at the early evening lights in Ethereal City, Night Sorrow left the Night Moon Villa and went to the Twilight Tea House. Chin Chin, who had received the report from his servant, went to Night Sorrow and gave him a hug. He patted Night Sorrow's shoulder heavily and did not say anything. Yishang entered the moon-admiring pavilion alone. He wanted to feel the calm moon. After making a pot of tea, Night Sorrow found that everything was still for a moment. Then a middle-aged man appeared in the room. The middle-aged man was wearing a loose robe and had a smile on his face. He still had short hair. Tran Hung. Tran Hung, the author of the Celestial Demon List. Brother Chin, you're here. Please take a seat. Night Sorrow stood up and invited Tran Hung to sit down. I know you're back, so I came to see you. After a few years of training, you've become stronger. A strong heart is really strong. With an invincible heart, you can be invincible in the world. Tran Hung sat opposite Night Sorrow. Thank you, Brother Tran Hung. I'm lucky that I didn't die. Night Sorrow muttered. The human patriarchs in the Tianhuang city are a mix of good and bad. You were exiled because of some people's selfishness, Tran Hung said after taking a sip of tea. If you know that being banished is wrong, you can at least bring me back, right? Just leave him outside and let him perish on his own? Yishan was angry. That was the order of the mayor of Tianhuang City. Don't think that he was trying to harm you. The mayor of Tianhuang City has a unique skill, the Great Prophecy spell, which can predict a person's fate. He must have thought that you would encounter difficulties but not die, so he made this decision. This is a training for you. You must have learned a lot, right? Tran Hung looked at Night Sorrow and said. Fortunately, there are some gains. Night Sorrow said after being stunned for a moment. There were some things that he didn't know, but he understood that Great Prophecy was definitely a heaven-defying skill. Ah, some gains? Your body of virtue has made you an unprecedented virtuous emperor. Is the inheritance of the peerless sword emperor not precious? Also, keep the human emperor's seal well, Emperor Qin said to Yishang. Senior knows about this? Night Sorrow looked at Tran Hung in surprise. I told you not to call me senior, just call me Brother Qin. I know some things. You don't have to worry about it. Once the virtuous emperor is in your hands, it is yours. No one can take it away from you because you are the virtuous emperor. That is the power of the virtuous emperor. Tran Hung corrected Night Sorrow. Okay, Night Sorrow understands. Night Sorrow nodded. Tran Hung looked at Night Sorrow and asked, I came to find you for another matter. Mo Qinji's body is in your hands. This must be handled properly. What do you plan to do? Night Sorrow said. Brother, you are omniscient. I didn't have to rush back and continued to find a place to cultivate. In Mount Tianhuang, I could just throw my spatial treasure into the ground and continue to hide. I risked my life to come back, but I was worried that Mo Qinji's body would be sensed by Mo Qinji and snatched back. I understand. I just don't trust you to handle this body. Tran Hung nodded at Night Sorrow. Then do you have any good ideas? Night Sorrow looked at Tran Hung and asked. Yes, I can help you destroy it. Or you can find a place where they can't find or snatch it back. There are more benefits in hiding. We know in our hearts that we won't give it to them no matter what, but they don't know, so they will be restrained. With this in hand, you will have the confidence to trick people as you wish. Tran Hung said. That works? Night Sorrow smiled. It's not the first time you've tricked people. If you want to negotiate, you can ask them to give you a greeting gift. Of course, you won't be satisfied with any greeting gift, right? Then let's not talk. Tran Hung said what Night Sorrow didn't dare to think. That's true. Before you came, I planned to send Mo Qinji's body to the 9 regions world to be suppressed. I was mainly worried that there might be some kind of backup plan in this body. I don't want her to suddenly come back to life and turn my world upside down. Night Sorrow expressed his concerns because of Guizu's precedent. Take it out. Brother will help you seal it. Tran Hung nodded at Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow brought Mo Qinji's body out of the 8-dragon cauldron. Mo Qinji looked like she was asleep. Her long white hair covered the ground. Tran Hung put his hands together and his fingers shook. A void array was formed. As he pressed his hands down, the void array merged into Mo Qinji's body. It's done. She doesn't have a soul in her body. Brother has placed a seal so other souls can't get close to her and won't occupy her body. In fact, she's afraid of death now. It won't be long before she comes to negotiate. Tran Hung said after placing a seal on her body. She's afraid? Night Sorrow asked after putting Mo Chinji's body into the 8-dragon cauldron. Of course she's afraid. She's more afraid than being destroyed. There are some things you don't understand. Also, don't hate the human race's sect elders. Good and bad things happen everywhere. You're a human. You can't change your outlook on life because of some people's wrongdoings. Tran Hung said. Brother, don't worry. I'm a human. I'll naturally work for the human race. Night Sorrow nodded. Tran Hung smiled at Night Sorrow and left. Everything in the Twilight Tea House returned to normal. After drinking a cup of tea, Night Sorrow returned to the Night Moon Villa and found Lin Xian. Night Sorrow told Lin Xian that Tran Hung came to see him. Tran Hung is the author of the Celestial Demon List. His abilities are monstrous. It's not surprising that he knows some things. Lin Xianer said. Tran Hung said that Mo Tianji is afraid? I can't destroy this body. Why does he say that she's more afraid than being destroyed? Night Sorrow asked, puzzled. Her body has Taoist rhymes. It's difficult to be injured by swords and blades. However, it's not difficult for an emperor to destroy it. What's more terrifying than being destroyed is that she's afraid of being desecrated. She's a woman. If you're a despicable person and find a male beast to desecrate her, her Taoist heart will be destroyed. She'll completely sink into depravity in the future. Don't you think she's afraid? This might be the reason why the Demon Wing clan sent so many people to stop you from coming back. Lin Xianer said. Damn. That's a little despicable. I won't do that. Night Sorrow was stunned for a moment before saying. You won't do it, but she's afraid. This is a war between races. They'll do anything. Lin Xianer said. It seems that I'm still the center of this conflict. My cultivation isn't enough. Night Sorrow could imagine what he would face in the future. Chapter 1746. The City Lord's order from the Great Elder was a signal, a trend. Because 7th Elder Lu Qi intended to give up his position as Elder of the Law Enforcement Clan, someone had to replace him. Originally, the replacement was to be chosen from the human clan elders, but Lu Qi had been supporting Lin Piamiao recently. Everyone knew that it was just Lu Qi's personal opinion. Now that the City Lord had given the order, it meant that he approved of Lu Qi's arrangement and Lin Piamiao's ability. In addition, the fact that the Great Demon King was following the Great Elder meant that the Great Demon King and the City Lord both intended for the Great Demon King to become the future Great Elder of the Great Demon King. Of course, this would take time, and it was something that had been arranged in advance. Grand Elder, what did the City Lord say about Night Sorrow? Emperor Tang asked. He makes his own decisions. He can do whatever he wants. It's the same in Tianhuang City, the Grand Elder said. He's hostile to us now. Are we not going to do anything when he comes to Tianhuang City and sets it on fire? Li Zongyuan was angry. If he sets it on fire, someone will put it out. We won't watch it burn. Without waiting for the Great Elder to speak, Lu Qi expressed his opinion. The City Lord's arrangement was very much to his liking. He knew Yi Shang's character very well. Although he was somewhat unruly, he did things with principles. Then I'll have to trouble you, Elder 7. Go to the Misty Dynasty and tell Elder Lin about this. You can also meet that bastard. The other party wants to negotiate. Let's see how he responds, the Great Elder said to Lu Qi. Grand Elder, don't worry. Lu Qi will do it well. Lu Qi nodded. Pu Luo, don't leave Tianhuang City for the time being. There are a lot of things to do. The Grand Elder looked at a young man in a plain white robe. The young man was called Pu Luo. He was a genius, a 1,000-year-old heavenly lord, and an emperor at 3,000 years old. He was now a law enforcement clan elder, but he usually didn't care about Tianhuang City's affairs. Pu Luo was very bright. He had a harmless smile on his face, but no one dared to look down on him. He had no weapons, only a pair of iron fists. Last time, when the Black Dragons attacked, Lu Qi blocked the Black Dragon King. The Black Dragon's elder was stopped by his pair of iron fists. After that, the meeting was adjourned. The crucial issue was settled with the 2 orders from the City Lord that the Grand Elder conveyed. The Grand Elder and Lu Qi left, but some of the elders were still sitting and chatting. Emperor Tang is still fine with Commander Lin. As long as you don't provoke her, she's still a very peaceful person. However, that Great Demon King has become a sect elder of the human race and is following the Grand Elder. He's going to be a nightmare for many people, Qin Xinjia said. That's a good thing. Some people need to be cautious when doing things. At the very least, they shouldn't cause trouble for others, Emperor Tang said with a smile. The main problem is that little bastard. Now that there's no restriction, he won't set things on fire, but he won't stop. Qin Xinjia was talking about Night Sorrow. Little Bastard was Night Sorrow's code name in Tianhuang City. No one said anything because Night Sorrow was scolding the old bastards. He was scolding the elders of the human race. No one could escape from his scolding. Qin Xinjia's words were a sore point for everyone. The human race elders present were all highly respected in their respective fields. None of them dared to call Qin Xinjia an old bastard. However, Yishang had called him an old bastard more than once. Night Sorrow returned to the nine-domain world and placed Mo Qinji's body at the bottom of the sky-ceiling Great Hall. He let the nine-domain origin use the world origin chi to suppress it. I and C positive N version 1N premiere. After that, Night Sorrow returned to the Night Moon Villa. His wife and parents were at the Night Moon Villa. There was no point for him to stay in the nine-domain world. Sikong Chuyu and the others held a family banquet to celebrate Night Sorrow's return. After the banquet, Night Sorrow entered the Clear Sky Pagoda to recover from his injuries. The Demon Wing Emperor had injured him and injected his chi into his body. He wanted to refine it. In the Clear Sky Pagoda, Night Sorrow began to recover. While Night Sorrow was recovering, Lu Qi went to the Misty Dynasty. He met Lin Piaomiao in the City Lord's mansion and told her about the decision of the City Lord. 5 days later, Elder Seven took a day to come. Night Sorrow is in seclusion to recover. I will call him out in 3 days. He can come to the desolate city in time. Lin Piaomiao thought for a moment and said, "It took a day to get from the Misty Dynasty to the desolate city." "All right. Piaomiao, you should persuade him. If people scold him, so be it. Some elders have lived for so long and have spent their lives fighting for the human race. They don't deserve to be scolded," Lu Qi said to Lin Piaomiao. He knew that the relationship between Lin Piaomiao and Night Sorrow was not ordinary. Lin Piaomiao nodded. She naturally understood. Many elders of the human race had sacrificed a lot for the stability of the human race. They had even hovered between life and death many times. Lin Piaomiao arranged for Lu Qi to stay in a VIP building in the Misty Dynasty Imperial City to wait for Night Sorrow to come out. With the time acceleration, it took 3 days in the real world but 5 months in the time acceleration. Night Sorrow used the power of merit to remove the foreign energy in his body. While Night Sorrow was studying the horn of the Demon Wing clan, Lin Piaomiao went to the Nine Regions World's Heaven Sealing Hall to see Night Sorrow's clone. She told him about Lu Qi's visit and his purpose. "Sister Shenair, when you are outside the Clear Sky Pagoda, I will know when you shake it. I didn't expect the Demon Wing clan to be so restless. Let's first ask for a greeting gift and show some sincerity." Night Sorrow smiled. He didn't expect Tran Hung to be so accurate. The Demon Wing clan really came to negotiate. After informing Night Sorrow, Lin Piaomiao returned to the Night Moon Villa. When she returned, Night Sorrow had already come out of seclusion and had almost recovered. Yishang's avatar came out of seclusion. His original body continued to cultivate while his avatar brought some battle resources, the 9 regions origin beads and the human emperor's seal that were originally in his original body's spirit sea. He went to the VIP tower of the Ethereal Empire. Night Sorrow greets Elder. Night Sorrow saluted Lu Qi. "Ah, I was worried that after you came, you would call me an old bastard. Then I would be embarrassed," Lu Qi said with a smile. "How can that be?" "That is, when you are angry and have no motivation to complain to encourage yourself." Night Sorrow didn't know how to respond to Lu Qi's words. "You were wrongly accused and exiled. As the elder in charge of discipline, I have an unshirkable responsibility. How about I treat you to a drink some other day?" Lu Qi said. "Elder, please don't say that. You make Night Sorrow blush with shame." Night Sorrow was indeed a little embarrassed because Lu Qi was very generous and had the demeanor of an elder. "I believe Piaomiao has already told you my intentions. In the future you can make decisions for your own matters. However, you are still young. If you don't trust others, you should discuss it with Piaomiao." Lu Qi looked at Lin Piaomiao. He knew that Night Sorrow believed Lin Piaomiao's words. "I understand." Night Sorrow also looked at Lin Piaomiao. What a sensible little guy. If anyone in Tianhuang City calls you a little bastard in the future, I will be angry with them. Lu Qi was indeed very happy. He had been worried that Night Sorrow wouldn't be easy to communicate with. After chatting for a while, the 3 of them set off for Tianhuang City. Lu Qi told Night Sorrow about the City Lord's orders. "Isn't the City Lord afraid that I will burn down Bai Zongyuan's residence?" Night Sorrow asked. If you want to burn it, then so be it. The Elder Council is already prepared to put out the fire. Lu Qi didn't refute Night Sorrow's words. This made Night Sorrow a little surprised. After expanding Tianhuang City, Lu Qi found a courtyard for Night Sorrow to live in. Tomorrow, Mo Lu from the Demon Wing clan will be here. Don't worry, just do what needs to be done. Lu Qi reminded Night Sorrow before leaving. Sister Xianair, come find me tomorrow and negotiate with me. I am not their opponent. Night Sorrow said to Lin Piaomiao, who was also about to leave. Chapter 1747. Hearing Yishang's words, Lu Qi, who had taken a few steps, stopped and turned to look at Yishang. You're also afraid of being beaten up? Of course I am. Why wouldn't I be afraid? Those who come to negotiate are all experts. If I don't agree with them, they'll beat me to death. Night Sorrow glanced at Lu Qi and said, Don't worry, I'll be with you tomorrow. Don't worry and speak boldly. If they dare to beat you, well, I'll beat them to death first. Lu Qi nodded to Night Sorrow and left. Lin Piaomiao looked at Night Sorrow and smiled. At this moment, Night Sorrow was the happy Night Sorrow. Looking around the small courtyard, Night Sorrow felt that it was not bad. It was much better than the dungeon. It was very simple. After resting for a night, Night Sorrow strolled around the heavenly desolate city. When the city's patrol saw Night Sorrow, they would make way for him and even take a detour. As for Night Sorrow's arrangement, the Grand Elder had officially informed the heavenly desolate city. Therefore, all the members of the heavenly desolate city knew about it. In addition, in the hearts of the members of the heavenly desolate city, Night Sorrow was a mad dog. He was the first person to call the human clan's patriarch old bastards. If they provoked Night Sorrow and were bitten by Night Sorrow, they would have no way to redress their grievances. While Night Sorrow was puzzled, Lu Qi and Lin Piaomiao arrived. They were followed by Pu Luo, who was very sunny. Night Sorrow, this is Patriarch Pu Luo. Lin Piaomiao introduced Pu Luo to Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow looked at Pu Luo. Don't look at me like that. It scares me. You were exiled. When something happened to you, I was sleeping at home. I'm not the old bastard you're talking about. Pu Luo explained when he saw Yishang's expression. Master Pu Luo, you're thinking too much. Night Sorrow was rude before. Night Sorrow held Pu Luo and cupped his hands. Don't call me master. I don't dare to act like a big shot in front of the Merit Emperor. Just call me Pu Luo. Pu Luo said with a smile. Patriarch Pu Luo. He's usually not in the heavenly desolate city. He only comes when there's a battle. This time he's accompanying you to negotiate. Lu Qi said. Many thanks to the two elders. The other party didn't come, right? Yishang understood that Pu Luo and Lu Qi had come to cheer him on. What? Let's go. Lu. They arrived at the gate of the heavenly wasteland city. Why are you picking him up? You're too polite to him. Night Sorrow didn't plan to do that. Night Sorrow, I'm the Grand Elder of the Devil Wing clan Mo Lu. I have something to discuss with you. Will you let me into the city first? Mo Lu shouted at Night Sorrow, who was standing on top of the city gate. If you want to talk, sure. You have to bring a gift when you visit. If you don't meet me, it means that you're not sincere. If you're not sincere, I won't talk with you. Also, I'm busy. I need to refine pills and refine tools to earn some cultivation resources. My life isn't good. Night Sorrow shouted at Mo Lu. Mo Lu was stunned. Lu Qi and Pu Luo were also surprised. They hadn't even talked yet, but Yi Shiwen was already asking for resources. So you didn't bring a gift. Let's talk next time. Sect Elder Qi, Sect Elder Pu Luo, Night Sorrow thanks you too for your care. Let's go back. Night Sorrow will treat you two to tea. Seeing that Mo Lu didn't say anything, Night Sorrow changed the topic. He wanted to put some pressure on Mo Lu. Then tell me, what kind of gift do you want? Mo Lu was furious, but for Mo Qingji's body he had to accept it. The gift is sincerity. It's not good to say it out loud. You have to see what kind of sincerity you can bring. Night Sorrow flew down the city gate tower after saying that. After Night Sorrow left, Lu Qi and Pu Luo looked at each other and followed Lin Piaomiao down the city gate tower. They went to Night Sorrow's side. Night Sorrow, are we just going to leave him there? Pu Luo looked at Night Sorrow and asked. Ignore him. If he doesn't show some sincerity, what am I going to talk to him about? Night Sorrow said. Lu Qi and Pu Luo didn't say anything. Night Sorrow was a scammer. If the Demon Wing clan wanted to talk, they had to spend resources to buy the right to talk. Mo Lu looked at the empty city gate tower, flicked his sleeves and left. If Night Sorrow didn't want to talk, there was nothing he could do. The four of them were going to Night Sorrow's yard for tea, but someone came to find Lu Qi, so Lu Qi left first. When they were not far from the yard, Night Sorrow, Pu Luo, and Lin Piaomiao met Li Zongyuan and two men in green. Li Zongyuan stood in front of Night Sorrow and looked at Night Sorrow. Have you seen the big elder of the Demon Wing clan? Have you eaten too much? You stopped me last time and now you're stopping me again? Night Sorrow frowned. He didn't like Li Zongyuan, but he didn't get angry because Tran Hung and Lu Qi had told him that most of the human clan's elders had contributed to the human clan and were worthy of respect. I'm worried that you're a traitor, Li Zongyuan said. Elder Li, please remember the city lord's arrangement. Lin Piaomiao's face turned ugly and her pretty face was frosty. I'm worried that he will exchange the human emperor's seal, and the city lord will be deceived by him. But I can't just ignore it, Li Zongyuan said. You? Who do you think you are? Night Sorrow couldn't hold back his anger because Li Zongyuan was too infuriating. Who are you? How dare you speak so rudely? I'm giving you face, one of the men in green said. This man was called Feng and he was Li Zongyuan's disciple. Do I need you to give me face? Go away. Night Sorrow glared at Feng. He couldn't stand people who were eager to flatter him. You don't respect the elder. You don't want face. Naturally, others won't give you face, Feng said sternly. I don't like to talk to you and you're still so enthusiastic. Go away. This has nothing to do with you. Night Sorrow's anger rose. Go away. This has nothing to do with you, Pu Luo said. He couldn't stand it anymore because this guy was a dog threatening to bully others. Elder, he's too rude and uneducated. Feng bowed to Pu Luo. Who's uneducated? Who are you to speak here? Lin Piaomiao was angry. Night Sorrow was someone she valued, but Feng called him uneducated. How could she accept it? While Lin Piaomiao was talking, Night Sorrow took 2 steps forward and stood in front of Feng. You said I'm uneducated? Yes. Feng straightened his body and glared at Night Sorrow. I'm too lazy to scold you. For people like you, I have to knock out all your teeth. As Night Sorrow spoke, his domain suddenly erupted and pressed out. Then he grabbed the golden human emperor's seal in his hand. At this moment, other than the part that Night Sorrow grabbed, the human emperor's seal was like a big brick. Night Sorrow took a step back and dodged Li Zongyuan. Then he swung his right hand and the golden human emperor's seal hit the back of Feng's head like a brick. He fainted. Feng's head was filled with stars and his body fell forward. At this moment, Night Sorrow threw the human emperor's seal to his left hand. After his left hand caught it, he wrapped it around Feng's face, especially his mouth. Chapter 1748. Blood splattered all over the place. Night Sorrow had flattened Maple's face and knocked out all his teeth. N. $3 original H starter. Maple was still in a daze as he fell to the ground. His head was filled with stars. Night Sorrow raised the human emperor's seal and kicked him. You want to talk to me about manners? I'll teach you a lesson first. Cheap mouth. I'll pull out all your teeth. Duck. After a while, Maple's body went limp. Many of his bones were broken by Night Sorrow's kicks. However, Pu Luo held on to Night Sorrow. If he continued to beat him, Maple's bones would all be broken. CKU. You think you don't have a temper just because you're the Merit Emperor? Night Sorrow bent down and hit Maple's face with the brick again. Then he kept the human emperor's seal and clapped his hands. Elderly, what did you say just now? I didn't hear it clearly. Let's talk again. Li Zongyuan's face turned green as he looked at Maple, who was no longer human. He pointed at Night Sorrow and was speechless. Fight? Lin Piaomiao stood between him and Night Sorrow. Pu Luo also rolled up his sleeves. Li Zongyuan was sure that he wouldn't be able to gain anything by fighting. You Shui, take your senior brother away. Li Zongyuan said angrily to the other man in green. Remember this. I'm not done with you. Yu Shui looked at Night Sorrow with murderous intent. What a domineering name. Rain Shoes, Water Shoes would be better. You want to bite me? If you dare to say another word, you'll end up like that dog. I can play with you slowly. Night Sorrow stared at Rain Shoes. The human emperor's seal was in his hand again. Let's go. Li Zongyuan didn't want to stay any longer. His old face was on the ground. Seeing Li Zongyuan leave with his men, Night Sorrow kept the human emperor's seal and looked at Lin Piaomiao. Sister Xianair, was I too rude just now? No, it's good. That bastard needs to be taught a lesson. Lin Piaomiao smiled. That's right. I also think it's very good. Just do what you need to do. Blindly enduring will only give others something to brag about. Your 2 moves just now were simply too satisfying. I've decided that when I go back I'll refine a brick just like yours. In the future I'll use it to slap faces. Pu Luo was very interested in the brick in Yi Shang's hand. Ah. Elder Pu Luo is also a kindred spirit. Yi Shang said with a smile. Slap. Pu Luo shook his head, searching for the feeling when Yi Shang hit his face with the brick just now. Elder Pu Li, you're being led astray by Yi Shan, Lin Piaomiao said with a smile. I'm not being a bad influence. In fact, I'm that kind of person too. Some people can't be spoiled. Night Sorrow, that's Yu Shui, you said. He wanted to kill you. Pu Luo said. I found out where he lives. I'll go find him tonight. After cultivating the body of merit, I'll be able to sense who has ill intentions towards me. I'll teach him a lesson. Night Sorrow said. I'm not going to drink tea with you. I'll go back and make a divine weapon. I'll go with you tonight. If that Li Zongyuan is shameless, I'll slap him in the face. Pu Luo waved his hand at Night Sorrow and left hurriedly to make his favorite divine weapon, the brick. Sister Xian'er, what's up with Elder Pu Luo? Night Sorrow was puzzled. He's a genius of his generation. 600 years of heavenly monarch and 3,000 years of emperor. He's carefree. Do you know why he's not in Tianhuang City? He said that he doesn't want to see those old faces. He also doesn't want to put on airs as a law enforcement elder. Lin Piaomiao said. This person is interesting. Tianhuang City is fine. If there's someone shameless, I'll slap him in the face. Tonight I'll slap that rain shoe. Night Sorrow said. I'll keep a lookout. If Elder Pu Luo goes, Li Zongyuan will deal with him. If he doesn't, Sister Xian'er will do it for you. Lin Piaomiao said with a smile. Then it's settled. Night Sorrow nodded. Okay, let's go together. Lin Piaomiao was very happy. She was most worried that this unfair incident would affect Night Sorrow's state of mind and character. Now, it seemed that there was no problem with Night Sorrow. Lin Piaomiao, what are you doing? A man in black with a golden crown entered Night Sorrow's courtyard. Great Demon King, why are you here? Lin Piaomiao looked at the man in black and asked. I'm here to play. I heard that Night Sorrow smashed someone's face. So I came to take a look. The man in black found a seat and sat down. He was the famous Great Demon King, Discipline of the Celestial Realm. Sister Xian'er, is it so rare to smash someone's face? Night Sorrow looked at Lin Piaomiao and asked. It is rare. No one has done it before and no one dares to do it. Lin Piaomiao nodded. What do you mean no one dares to do it? I just didn't think that it could be done. I can try it in the future. If you're shameless, I won't give you any face. Great Demon King looked at Lin Piaomiao and said. Tianhuang City is too oppressive. There's no excitement. If we need excitement, let's start with smashing faces. Night Sorrow took out a jar of wine and poured it for Great Demon King and Lin Piaomiao. Great Demon King Night Sorrow has just arrived in Tianhuang City. Some of the elders are against him. So when he needs help you can't just watch. You have to help him. Lin Piaomiao looked at Discipline of Discipline and said. That's easy. Night Sorrow, I've seen your battle in the crystal ball. It's very moving. If you want to bully Emperor and Emperor, I'll go with you. If it's Emperor, then forget it. I can't afford to lose that face. Great Demon King looked at Night Sorrow and said. That'll do. Lin Piaomiao nodded. That's nothing. What's with that group of people now? You can't do it and you can't bear to see others do it. All you do is blabber. It's annoying. Discipline of Demon King took the wine bowl and drank it. After drinking a jar of wine, Great Demon King didn't leave. Great Demon King, what's up with you? Don't you have anything to do? Lin Piaomiao asked. I knew you were going to chase them away. I heard it when I came. You guys are planning to do something bad. I'm more interested in that. Discipline of Demon King said. Lin Piaomiao didn't say anything. Obviously, she couldn't chase Discipline of Demon King away now. At this time, Pu Luo came to Night Sorrow's courtyard with a golden brick in his hand. Night Sorrow, I have to say this thing feels pretty good. After speaking, Pu Luo grabbed the brick with his right hand and slapped it on the back of his head. Then he slapped his face from bottom to top. Elder Pu Luo, what's that? Discipline of Demon King looked at the golden brick in Pu Luo's hand and asked. It's a face-slapping artifact. What does it have to do with you? Pu Luo grabbed the golden brick with his right hand and put it into his storage ring. The three of you are definitely up to no good. How can I not punish you? Pu Luo, we fought side by side. Can you help me get one? As a reward, we'll go slap whoever's face you want us to slap. The one who retreats is not a man. Discipline of Demon King said. Night Sorrow, why don't we bring him along? Pu Luo looked at Night Sorrow and asked. He didn't have much contact with discipline of Demon King, but they had fought together against the Demon Wing clan. They were still friends. Chapter 1749. So bold. Take it with you. But let's make this clear first. If things get out of hand, you'll have to clean up your own mess, said Night Sorrow. What's the big deal? You're the virtuous emperor. You won't do anything immoral, said the great Demon King. Why can't I do anything immoral? It depends on who you're doing it to. Night Sorrow corrected the great Demon King. Pu Luo, you're the emperor blacksmith. Hurry up. I want the one you just took. The great Demon King began to urge Pu Luo. Pu Luo smiled. He waved his right hand and threw out a spatial treasure. Then he disappeared. He entered the spatial treasure and accelerated the refinement process. In just a moment, Pu Luo came out with a big golden brick in his hand. So fast? Elder Pu Luo, are you kidding me? The great Demon King was suspicious. This thing only needs hardness. It doesn't need anything else. It just needs to be harder than a person's head. Pu Luo threw the brick to the disciplined great Demon King. They drank a pot of tea. When night fell, Night Sorrow set off. Pu Luo, the great Demon King, and Lin Piaomiao followed behind Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow touched Rain Shu's courtyard. Then he released his domain. He wasn't here to fight. He was here to suppress Rain Shu. Therefore, he didn't want to give him a chance to struggle or fight. Rain Shu was a 5-star sovereign emperor, but he wasn't afraid. He wanted to give it a try. The virtuous emperor's level 4 domain enveloped Rain Shu's courtyard. Rain Shu wasn't prepared at all. This was Tianhuang City. There would be an enemy invasion and there would be a battle alarm. Moreover, he was taking care of Maple. Therefore, Night Sorrow's domain suppressed him. Yishan released his domain and sent out his soul-extinguishing slash. _X genuine LQ song, Hair 1 Rain Shu's first reaction was to defend when he saw Night Sorrow and the 2 purple crescent blades slashing towards him. Night Sorrow's shadow body was activated as Rain Shu's unleashed his soul power. Kanyang then used the void step and appeared behind Rain Shu's. The golden human emperor's seal was aimed at the back of Rain Shu's head. F***Sike. Rain Shu's wanted to curse, but he only managed to utter 2 words before his head was filled with stars. That was because the shining human emperor's seal in Night Sorrow's hand was firmly placed on the back of his head. When Rain Shu's leaned forward, Night Sorrow spun his body and the human emperor's seal covered Rain Shu's face from bottom to top. Blood, flesh and teeth flew everywhere. A large seal flattened Rain Shu's face. You lie down too. Night Sorrow swung his hand again, shattering Maple's bones. He hadn't recovered yet and his face was full of shock. You wanted to kill me, so I didn't hit you unjustly. Night Sorrow bent down and smacked him twice, knocking him out completely. Shall we kill Li Zongyuan? Disciplined Demon King asked Pu Luo. Let's do it. We'll split the loot equally. Pu Luo nodded because they saw Night Sorrow taking Rain Shu's and Maple's storage ring. After speaking, Pu Luo and Great Demon King disappeared in a flash. They went to another courtyard, which was Li Zongyuan's territory. Night Sorrow tidied up a bit and walked out of Rain Shu's courtyard. Sister Shen'er, I thought we would have to fight a tough battle, but they weren't vigilant at all and were knocked down just like that. Without vigilance, they are trash who have never experienced a life-and-death battle. They have high cultivation but low ability, Lin Shen'er said while looking at the courtyard. Where are the other 2? Night Sorrow asked. Those 2 daring and reckless people probably went to cause trouble, Lin Shen'er said. Other than Pu Luo and the Great Demon King, no one else had the idea of slapping a brick on the heads of the human race's patriarchs and emperor-level cultivators. In just a moment, Pu Luo and Great Demon King came back. Great Demon King was holding a piece of armor in his hand. Go back quickly and erase the imprint. That old thing is going to wake up soon. Great Demon King shouted and then disappeared in a flash. Pu Luo flashed and chased after him. What's going on? That's Li Zongyuan's armor. They took it off? Lin Piaomiao was puzzled. She thought there would be a big battle. After all, Li Zongyuan was an emperor. When Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao returned to the courtyard, Great Demon King and Pu Luo were refining things. One was refining the armor, the other was refining the storage ring. Done. Great Demon King and Pu Luo opened their eyes one after the other. At this moment, a shocking roar came from afar. It's too late to wake up now. Pu Luo, hurry up and see if there's anything good. Return the broken storage ring to him later, Great Demon King said to Pu Luo. Then Pu Luo threw things into the courtyard. They were all found in the storage ring. There's a lot of Holy Spirit stones and materials. You 3 divide them. I only want this armor. Great Demon King waved his arm and divided the resources on the ground into 3 piles. We can't take this. Night Sorrow shook his head. Hurry up and take it. You don't have to be the scapegoat. Hurry up, he's coming. Puluo took his share and then urged Night Sorrow and Datura. Night Sorrow and Datura looked at each other and then took it. Great Demon King took out a jar of wine and poured 4 bowls. Divided the loot. Let's wait for the troublemaker to come. At this moment, the door of the courtyard was kicked open. Li Zongyuan came in with disheveled hair. He looked miserable. There was a big bump on the back of his head. There was a big red and shiny bump on his forehead. There were no teeth in his mouth. Puluo, Great Demon King, are you crazy? Hurry up and give me my storage ring and armor. Li Zongyuan's mouth was leaking air, so it was hard for him to speak. This broken ring is for you. Puluo threw the empty storage ring to Li Zongyuan. Armor. Li Zongyuan looked at Great Demon King. What armor? Li Zongyuan, are you thinking too much? I don't know. Great Demon King took the armor and put it on. I'll go find the Grand Elder and ask for an explanation. Li Zongyuan pointed at Great Demon King and turned to leave. You don't even know that your storage ring has lost its mark. You just left like that? Great Demon King muttered as he watched Li Zongyuan leave. Just as Great Demon King finished speaking, a roar came again. Night Sorrow, I'll kill you. What does this have to do with me? Yi Xiu opened and closed his mouth twice before saying this. He thought that Great Demon King and Puluo were the ones who asked for help. Lin Xianer said. It doesn't matter. His teeth are gone. How can he bite me? But I'm very puzzled. I didn't hear any fighting just now. How did you succeed? Night Sorrow asked. We went. Puluo said he had something to discuss. Li Zongyuan got up to make tea. Puluo hugged him and I gave him a hard blow from behind. But the blow on his forehead and the teeth in his mouth were all done by Puluo, Great Demon King said as he waved the brick. Chapter 1750. In the small space, the Grand Elder's face turned blue when he heard Li Zongyuan's angry complaint. This had never happened before. Okay, you go back first. I'll ask them later. The Grand Elder waved his hand at Li Zongyuan. Grand Elder, Night Sorrow is the one behind all this. Li Zongyuan emphasized again before leaving. After Li Zongyuan left, the Grand Elder thought for a while and smiled. He felt that Night Sorrow was a capable person. Puluo was not someone who would easily communicate with others. There were not many human elders who could talk to him. The reason why he could get along with Night Sorrow was because of Night Sorrow's charisma. The Great Demon King was the same. He was a person who would fight whenever there was a disagreement. Therefore he also got along with Night Sorrow. After closing his eyes and meditating for a while, the Grand Elder left and walked towards Night Sorrow's courtyard. Night Sorrow, pack up quickly. The Grand Elder is here. Puluo shouted at Night Sorrow because Night Sorrow was sorting out the maple leaves, rain shoes, and the resources that had just been distributed. As soon as Night Sorrow put them away, the Grand Elder walked in with the coiling dragon spear. What a great harvest. Grand Elder, nice to meet you. Night Sorrow stood up and saluted. Puluo, the Great Demon King, and Lin Piaomiao also stood up and saluted. It's good that you guys are together. It's very harmonious. This is what our Tianhuang city needs. The Grand Elder sat down and said, Grand Elder, did someone complain to you? Puluo looked at the Grand Elder and asked, So be it. Are you guys afraid? Besides, Enforcer Elder Li said that Yishan was exiled, so there must be a reason for him to be exiled. So there must be a reason why he was robbed. He didn't rob anyone else, right? Said the Great Elder with a smile. The Grand Elder knows right from wrong. Puluo exhaled. However, all of you should take it easy. One Night Sorrow is enough to give me a headache and all of you still want to blindly kick up a fuss? Night Sorrow did a good job. Next time if you want to rob someone, let me know first. I won't stop you, but you should be prepared. It's a sin to lose your teeth at such an old age. The Grand Elder glared at Puluo. He shook his head at Night Sorrow and left. That's it? Great Demon King looked at Night Sorrow and Puluo in surprise, then looked at Lin Piaomiao. It's done. I guess the Grand Elder didn't punish us for Night Sorrow's sake. Puluo nodded. Night Sorrow, if you want to teach someone a lesson, just call us. Puluo, you won't leave the Heavenly Wasteland City anytime soon, right? I can't leave either, the Great Demon King said. After a while, Puluo and Great Demon King left, leaving only Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao. I'll go tidy up a room. Lin Xianer's face was a little red. Sister Xian'er, you're staying here? Night Sorrow was stunned. Nonsense. If I don't stay here, what if Li Zongyuan comes to take revenge on you? Lin Piaomiao glanced at Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow smiled. He knew that Lin Piaomiao was doing this for his own good. You're too daring. However, it's very satisfying. Some people have to be dealt with. Do you have a plan for the negotiation? After tidying up the room, Lin Piaomiao looked at Night Sorrow and asked. Not much. It's just a meeting gift. No matter how much resources you give, I won't give you Mo Qingji's body either, Night Sorrow said. I didn't know that you were so evil, Lin Piaomiao said to Night Sorrow with a smile. Night Sorrow also smiled. Actually, he didn't think of himself as a good person. He had killed many people over the years. However, he had a clear conscience. They were all people who deserved to be killed. In the middle of the courtyard was the hall. Night Sorrow was in the room on the right. He placed a praying mat and sat quietly. Lin Xian'er placed a reclining chair in the room on the left and rested on it. After meditating for a while, Night Sorrow woke up. Because the night in Tianhuang City was very cold and the surroundings were filled with nirvana tide, the temperature was a little low. After thinking for a while, Night Sorrow took a blanket from the room and gently walked over, covering Lin Xian'er, who was lying on the reclining chair. You're awake. Lin Piaomiao opened her eyes. More $1 new G most, unspecified currency fast plus, /. I didn't sleep. I'm tidying up what I've learned in the past, Night Sorrow nodded. You have a lot of room for improvement now. I can't. When my original body cultivates, sometimes I won't have any gains for a long time, let alone my doppelgangers. Doppelgangers sleep when they need to, Lin Piaomiao said. Maybe it's because I haven't cultivated for long and there are too many things that I need to tidy up. So even with 3 doppelgangers, I don't have enough time, Night Sorrow said. You're at the stage where you're building your foundation. It's also the stage where you have the most inspiration. Don't be anxious. Take it one step at a time and maintain this momentum. Although it's difficult, it can be done with time. It's rare to have a fighting strength that far surpasses your realm. This is the benchmark to judge whether a cultivator is outstanding or not, Lin Piaomiao said. I understand. Thank you, Sister Xian'er, for taking care of me during this period of time, Night Sorrow said. You're only saying thank you to me? Lin Piaomiao sat up straight. Oh, it's not like that. Let's talk about it after you calm down, okay? Night Sorrow was a little unnatural. He knew about Lin Piaomiao's situation. He also knew that Lin Piaomiao treated him this way because she had feelings for him. I thought you were going to reject me. Lin Piaomiao lay down again. Yeah, I didn't. Night Sorrow shook his head. He took out a robe and covered Lin Piaomiao's body. I don't know where my feelings come from, but I'm deeply in love. After Lin Piaomiao finished speaking, she pulled the blanket over her face. Her words were her feelings. Actually, it was also a confession. I got it. Night Sorrow patted Lin Piaomiao's hand and returned to the main hall. When he heard Lin Piaomiao's words, his heart trembled. Because if she wasn't deeply in love, she wouldn't have said such words. What do you know? Lin Piaomiao pulled down the blanket and revealed her face. I know what I need to know. Sister Xian'er, please rest. Night Sorrow sat on the futon and meditated. However, his heart couldn't calm down. He just sat there. The next 2 days were peaceful. Li Zongyuan didn't come to find trouble with Night Sorrow. On the other hand, Pu Luo and the Great Demon King came to Night Sorrow's place to drink every day. Wuxia also came once. When he saw Pu Luo and the Great Demon King at Night Sorrow's place, he wasn't surprised. So you guys have been fooling around together. Elderly came to find me and said that you guys were in cahoots. You guys stole his storage ring and armor and even injured 2 of his disciples. Wuxia said. Elder 7, what do you say? Pu Luo looked at Wuxia and asked. Isn't that simple? Ask him to find the Grand Elder. Night Sorrow makes tea. I want the tea from Twilight Tea House. Wuxia pointed at the teapot. I'm a little nervous seeing Elder 7. Night Sorrow said while holding the teapot. Chapter 1751. Night Sorrow didn't say anything. He only glanced at Pu Luo and the Great Demon King. Li Zongyuan was robbed and he was the scapegoat. The Grand Elder and the 7th Sect Elder believed that he was the mastermind. I'm just here to take a look. Seeing that you're living a carefree life, I'm relieved. However, be careful that one day someone might take you down. Wuxia reminded Yishang. He was worried that Li Zongyuan would take revenge on Yishang. Li Zongyuan was an emperor and was the leader of a faction. He had many disciples and many of them had higher cultivation than Night Sorrow. Thank you, 7th Sect Elder. Night Sorrow cupped his hands at Lu Qi. It's nothing. The elders have been talking about you for the past 2 days, saying that you're a bad influence. But I think it's passion. Otherwise, the heavenly desolate city would be like a pool of stagnant water. They weren't in the heavenly desolate city before, but now they're not leaving. Lu Qi looked at the three and said with a smile. After chatting for a while, Lu Qi left. He was just here to take a look. He wasn't worried about Night Sorrow causing trouble. The Grand Elder wasn't worried either. What could the Merit Emperor do? Even if he made a move, he would only hurt those who weren't virtuous enough. Night Sorrow, can we discuss something? The Great Demon King looked at Night Sorrow and asked. Tell me. What is it? Night Sorrow looked at the Great Demon King and asked. There is a sect elder in the desolate city. He isn't a good person. I didn't teach him a lesson in the past because I didn't want to cause a commotion. I didn't want the Grand Elder and the 7th Sect Elder to be angry. Let's go and take him down. The Great Demon King said. If I don't go, who knows if you are going to take a good or bad person. In the end, the Grand Elder and the 7th Sect Elder always come to talk to me. Night Sorrow shook his head. What do you mean by taking a good person? That's a scum. His name is Bansha. He's just a small sect elder who keeps shouting about banning this and banning that. Ask Pu Luo and her if I'm lying? The Great Demon King pointed at Lin Piaomiao agitatedly. Sect Elder Pu Luo, is Sister Xian for real? Yishang asked. It's true. I don't like that bastard either. However, it's up to you whether you want to do it or not. I'll do it. But what do you mean by little lousy elder? You weren't even an elder in the past, alright? Pu Luo was dissatisfied when he heard the Great Demon King scold the elders. He was also an elder, but he was just an elder of the law enforcement elder rank. Why do you mind? I'm not talking about you, the Great Demon King said. Since he's scum, let's do it. Night Sorrow nodded. The next few days were chaotic because after Li Zongyuan, 2 more human sect elders were knocked down by Night Sorrow and the other 3's black bricks. The Great Demon King had a bad reputation, so some people were on guard against him. However, Pu Luo had a good reputation, so no matter who he visited, everyone would receive him. While they were drinking tea, he suddenly stood up and hugged her. Then the Great Demon King, Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao appeared. Lin Piaomiao didn't make a move and just watched. However, Night Sorrow and Great Demon King both threw out their black bricks. Black hand. The Great Demon King's hand was very black. Those who were hit would be paralyzed for a few days. In just a few days, Night Sorrow and the other 3 had become a plague. No matter who they visited, no one would receive them. The Grand Elder was in seclusion. The 7 sect elders said that they had gained enlightenment and didn't want to see anyone. By the way, Night Sorrow, it was Xiao Jun who exiled you. Why don't I see you taking revenge on him? Pu Luo looked at Night Sorrow and asked. He didn't see me and we don't have any grudges. He probably exiled me because of his personality. It's not that he's a bad person. Forget it. Night Sorrow said. It's good that you think this way. Actually, I've been waiting for you these few days. If you want to hit Xiao Jun, I'll advise you. He's ruthless, but he did contribute to the human race and can admit his mistakes. You were exiled for 8 years and he's been reflecting on his mistakes, Pu Luo said. He's been reflecting on himself for 8 years. I've been hunted for 8 years. Night Sorrow still felt it was unfair. However, he didn't cause trouble for Xiao Jun because he knew what was right and wrong. No. The desolate cliff of desolation in Desolation City is an area where time accelerates. Under the influence of the tide of nirvana, time accelerates by 40 times. You were exiled for 8 years while he reflected on himself for 300 years. If you didn't come back, he would probably continue to reflect on himself, Lin Piaomiao explained to Night Sorrow. Then we're even. What's left is that by Chuyuan. I'll definitely kill that guy. Night Sorrow's face was filled with killing intent. He wouldn't let Bai Chuyuan and Celestial Sect off no matter what. That guy was exiled from Desolation City. Why don't we go and hit him now? If he's not in Desolation City, we'll wait for a while, Pu Luo said. That Bai Chuyuan is the same as Celestial Sect. Both of them aren't good people. If Celestial Sect hides in his small world and doesn't come out, I'll kill him when he comes out, the Great Demon King said. They were both experts on the Celestial and Demon rankings, but the difference between Celestial Sect and the Great Demon King was huge. Previously, Celestial Sect Saint Emperor was forced to self-destruct by the Great Demon King. His original body left the Celestial Realm and entered other realms. The Great Demon King couldn't catch him. On the new Soonest 6, just as Night Sorrow was planning to cultivate his alchemy skills, Mo Lu came to Desolation City once again. The negotiations had to continue, so this time he brought a greeting gift. Without a greeting gift, Night Sorrow didn't want to negotiate with him. This was something he couldn't do. This time there was one more person following Night Sorrow to the city gate tower. The Great Demon King was following. "May I ask if you've brought a greeting gift?" Night Sorrow shouted from the top of the city gate tower. Mo Lu nodded. With a toss of his right hand, a storage ring flew to the top of the city gate tower and landed in Night Sorrow's hand. Without a soul imprint, Night Sorrow easily found out what was inside. 10 million Saint Spirit Stones, some herbs and red fruits. I say, Great Elder of the Demon Wing Clan, are you kidding me? 10 million Saint Spirit Stones? Is your Demon Wing Clan that poor? I spent a few million Saint Spirit Stones to go to Desolation Mountain once. Why are you giving me rotten fruits? We humans don't have any fruits to eat, right? A red fruit appeared in Night Sorrow's hand. That's the Cloud Dragon fruit. It can strengthen your body. I think it suits you, so I gave you 5. That's a top-grade fruit that can only be produced once in a million years. The corner of Mo Lu's eyes twitched. What Cloud Dragon fruit? That's also a fruit. I don't want to talk to you anymore. I need sincerity. You don't have any sincerity at all. Last time, I found a woman's body in Desolation Mountain. She offered 30 million Saint Spirit Stones for it. If I sold it, I wouldn't be short of 10 million Saint Spirit Stones. You're giving me 10 million Saint Spirit Stones as a greeting gift? Are you kidding me? Yes, I'm poor and have no resources, but I have high tastes. Go back and think about it. If we want to negotiate, we need to show sincerity. 5 monarchs of your Demon Wing Clan tried to kill me, but I came out to negotiate with you. That's my sincerity. Now it's up to you. Night Sorrow turned and walked down the city gate tower. Chapter 1752. Night Sorrow, that's a Cloud Dragon fruit, not a fruit, Puluo said excitedly when he sensed that Mo Lu had already left the city gate tower. Cloud Dragon fruit? You took it as a fruit and precious materials as cabbage. The Demon Wing Clan has a big business. Let's just play with them, Night Sorrow said. Puluo and the Great Demon King looked at each other and turned to Night Sorrow. You're too cunning. Are you just playing with them? Do you really think I'll negotiate with them? They have so many people chasing after me. Wouldn't I be a moron if I negotiated with them? Night Sorrow said with a smile. So you're saying that you'll keep asking for gifts and not talk about business? The Great Demon King understood. Yes. It doesn't matter how many gifts they give. I won't even give them a hair if they want to take something from me. Night Sorrow nodded. Night Sorrow, what exactly did you take from him that made Mo Lu so shameless as to bring a greeting gift to negotiate? Puluo asked. Let's go back to the courtyard. We'll talk while drinking tea, Night Sorrow said as he looked at the patrolling soldiers. When they returned to Night Sorrow's courtyard, Night Sorrow and the other 3 were a little confused because the courtyard had been torn down. Bastard, you don't have to care about Night Sorrow. I'll find a fortune teller and find out who did it. We'll take revenge together. The Great Demon King was angry. He had been hanging out with Night Sorrow for the past few days and didn't give him any face. Our only place to stay has been raided, Night Sorrow said. Don't worry, we all have places to stay. Let's change our base. Come to my place? Puluo invited Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow, come to my place, Lin Piao said. Okay, then let's go to Sister Xianer's place. Night Sorrow nodded. Adultery. Puluo pointed his thumbs at each other. Then let's go. We'll find someone to repair it later, Lin Piao said to Night Sorrow and didn't answer Puluo. You didn't refute? It's true. The Great Demon King also looked at Night Sorrow and Lin Piao. Night Sorrow and Lin Piao didn't answer and went to Lin Piao's courtyard in Desolate City. Lin Piao's courtyard was much more picturesque than Yishang's. Warm jade was buried in the courtyard and the weather was good. After seeing the tyrannical power of Yen Wushuang's soul strength, Mo Tianji's strength, and Guizu's trump card, Night Sorrow was now very cautious. After checking and finding no problems, Night Sorrow took out 3 Cloud Dragon fruits and put them in a jade box, pushing it to the Great Demon King, Puluo and Lin Piao. What are you doing? Puluo looked at Night Sorrow and asked. It's for everyone. Night Sorrow said as he tidied up the rest of the things. We know about your situation. You cultivate your body and it's stronger than the Demon Winged Clan. We don't specialize in body cultivation, so we don't need it. Also, you're too polite, we don't need it. The great demon king pushed the jade box back to Night Sorrow. Pu Luo didn't accept it and Lin Piaomiao naturally didn't accept it. Since they didn't accept it, Night Sorrow didn't force them. After all, the three of them were human race sect elders and wouldn't take advantage of him. Night Sorrow, what did you take from the demon-winged clan? They were so nervous and even wanted to talk to you with a greeting gift. Even if it was the human emperor's seal, they wouldn't do it. The great demon king asked. Night Sorrow exhaled. The body of one of the demon-winged clan's big shots is in my hands. They probably want it back. Which big shot did it belong to? Why is it still in your hands? Pu Luo asked excitedly. Emo Tianji. Night Sorrow said Emo Tianji's name. White-haired 1,000 feet Emo Tianji. She's not from the same era as us. She's a master of the Seven Emperors' tribulation. The demon-winged clan is anxious to get her body back. Could it be that her soul hasn't been destroyed? The great demon king stood up. Yes. I was exiled to Heaven Wasteland and arrived at the battlefield where she and my master fought. My master failed his tribulation and didn't have a body. He kept burning his soul power to trap her. In the end, he forced her soul out of her body and I took her body. Night Sorrow ignored the part about the human emperor's seal. If the big shot of the demon-winged clan fully recovers, not many humans can stop her. Maybe only the city lord can. Night Sorrow, this is a big deal. You can't joke about it. Why don't you leave it to the city lord? What if Mo Qingji uses some method to kill you? You won't be able to stop her. Pu Luo's face was serious. Yes, it's okay for us humans to fight among ourselves. Mo Qingji's body is too important. You can't lose it. I hope you can consider it carefully. The great demon king also spoke. This was the big picture. No matter how much they followed Night Sorrow, it would affect the entire human race. Pu Luo and the great demon king had a balance in their hearts. I'm not a selfish person, but I don't trust the elders of Heaven Wasteland City. I've asked an expert to seal the body and suppress it in a small world. There's no problem with its safety. Night Sorrow said. Elder Pu Luo, great demon king, Night Sorrow is the realm lord in that world. The teleportation formation is an Emperor level 1. Moreover, the teleportation crystal has already recognized Night Sorrow as its master. If Night Sorrow doesn't release it, cultivators above the Emperor level can't enter. Lin Piaomiao said. Under such circumstances, others can't break in. But will Mo Qingji's body have a backup plan? Once something happens, Night Sorrow's nest will be turned upside down. Pu Luo's face was full of worry. I've asked Senior Tran Hung to check the body and make sure there's no backup plan. Also, I've placed a seal on it, so it's safe. Night Sorrow said. A seal placed by Tran Hung, the author of the Celestial and Demon List? There's no problem. The great demon king said. Well, then you don't have to worry. You have the demon wing clan's weakness, so they have to take the bait or give up when they can't see any hope. Continue to slander them. Pu Luo said. You have the lifeline of the demon wing clan in your hands. Unless they give up on Mo Tianji, they will be restrained by you. No wonder so many demon-winged clans stopped you when you came back. You've broken their sky. The great demon king said with a smile. Don't laugh. Do you know any divination masters who can help me divine just who it was that tore down my monastery? I've been slapped in the face. Even if I can't retaliate, I should at least know who it was, said Yishan. Then I'll inform the divination masters to come over immediately. The great demon king said. Chapter 1753. Pu Luo left as soon as he finished speaking. He went to find Elder Zhai Xing to arrange the divination. At this moment, in one of the 5 towers, a few elders were sitting together. Li Zongyuan was one of them, as well as the elders who were beaten up by Night Sorrow's group. We shouldn't have smashed that bastard's place. This way he would be prepared. Li Zongyuan's face was full of anger. Just now, he brought a few elders to find Night Sorrow, but they didn't see him. Li Zongyuan brought the 3 elders who were beaten up by Night Sorrow's group to Night Sorrow's side yard. He planned to let the other 3 hold back Pu Luo, the great demon king, and Lin Piaomiao while he attacked Night Sorrow. Without seeing him, they tore down Night Sorrow's side yard. Then they met Lu Qi. Seeing that Lu Qi's face wasn't looking good, they retreated. They were worried that if they continued, they would anger Lu Qi. 7th Elder said a few days ago that he was in seclusion to comprehend something. We tore down Night Sorrow's side yard and he appeared. Is this a coincidence? We tore down Night Sorrow's side yard. Now, it's useless to complain to the Grand Elder and 7th Elder. An elder in a green robe said. His name was Zhu Chao. Night Sorrow, Pu Luo, and the great demon king hit him twice with a brick. His storage ring was also taken away. We tore down Night Sorrow's side yard. It's the same as attacking him. It's useless to complain to the Grand Elder and the law enforcement elders. We can only vent our anger on ourselves. Find a chance to teach him a lesson. Even if the city lord punishes us, it's another matter. He provoked us first. Li Zongyuan said. He has a body of merit and is recognized by the heavenly Tao. But we are elders of the human race. We also represent the human Tao. If he is arrogant, then just kill him. We stand on the same side. The great demon king can't do anything to us. Pu Luo shouldn't be that crazy. Zhu Chao said. The hateful one is that Xiao Jun. After facing the wall and reflecting on his mistakes for 300 years, he's tolerating it now and doesn't say anything. When we went to see him, he still ignored us, Li Zongyuan said angrily. Let's not bother about him for now. If that bastard has the ability to continue causing trouble and offending people, then it'll be easier for us to find someone to deal with him, Zhu Chao said. The bastard he was referring to was Night Sorrow. At this moment, Pu Luo brought a clairvoyant to Lin Piao Miao's residence. Then they went to the courtyard where Night Sorrow had been destroyed. Then the divination master began his divination. It only took half a day for the divination to come out. When the scene ended, Pu Luo took out a storage ring and handed it to the fortune teller. Thank you for your hard work. Elder Pu Luo, you're too polite. It's just a day's work. It won't consume much energy. There's no need for that, the fortune teller said. Not much, just a few thousand Saint Spirit stones. Take it as me buying you some good wine. Pu Luo smiled at the fortune teller. After the fortune teller left, Pu Luo took out a golden brick and clapped his hands. Now let's make a plan. Let's see which one to take down first. We have to take it back. We can say that we've offended these people. Night Sorrow is the scapegoat. But they're all together. It'll be a little difficult to take them down quietly, the great demon king said. No hurry. Let's wait until nighttime. Are those old men still together at night? Night Sorrow said. All right. This matter can't be delayed overnight. Otherwise they'll think that we're cowards. We'll have to fight them, the great demon king said. At this moment, Elder Spiritual Tree and Gucci arrived. Greetings, Elder Pu Luo. What's going on here? Elder Spiritual Tree was furious. He had been cultivating pills all this time, so he didn't know what was going on outside. Greetings, Elder Spiritual Tree. I've offended someone and they've raided my house, Night Sorrow said. Preposterous. What's going on? I want to see the disciplined sect elder. The Spirit Tree sect elder's face was filled with anger. He greatly admired Yishan. Elder, don't be angry. It's nothing. Elder, what's the matter? Night Sorrow admired Elder Spiritual Tree very much. Nothing much. Your problem has been dealt with. No one should target you anymore. Although I'm not from the human race, I'm willing to see the 100 Races Alliance prosper. Seeing that your alchemy skills are lacking, I've decided to give this to you. Elder Spiritual Tree handed Night Sorrow a book. Elder, is this appropriate? Night Sorrow looked at Elder Spiritual Tree in surprise. It's appropriate. The human race and the Spiritual Tree race have been allies for countless years and will remain so in the future. Hence, helping a young human race is nothing. It's also good karma. Elder Spiritual Tree nodded at Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow, keep it. The Spiritual Tree race is filled with love, friendliness, and tolerance. The human race also treats the Spiritual Tree race's matters as their own. When you have the ability, take care of the Spiritual Tree race more. Pu Luo said. Elder Pu Luo is right. Tolerance can be said to be a state of mind and also a virtue. I'm very willing to help young people. If you have any problems, you can also look for me. Elder Spiritual Tree cupped his hands at Pu Luo and said to Night Sorrow. Thank you, Elder Spiritual Tree. Elder Gu, what's the matter? Night Sorrow bowed to Elder Spiritual Tree before looking at Gu Qi. Nothing much. I'm just accompanying Elder Spiritual Tree to see you. It turns out that I also have a refining technique to pass on to you. However, Unparalleled Sword Emperor is not only unparalleled in combat strength, but also a master in refining techniques. I won't cause you trouble and make you confused, Gu Qi said. After Elder Spiritual Tree and Gu Qi left, Night Sorrow and the rest were still looking at the dilapidated courtyard. Night Sorrow, you've profited. Elder Spiritual Tree's refining technique, if he were to say he's second, no one would dare to say they're first. The Spiritual Tree race has a natural understanding of medicinal herbs, so their refining technique is unparalleled in the world. Lin Piaomiao said. Elder spiritual tree is indeed filled with love and friendliness. Night Sorrow nodded. As night fell, the outside of Tianhuang City was filled with towering waves. However, the inside of the city was very quiet. Only the footsteps of the patrolling soldiers could be heard. Night Sorrow and the rest left Lin Piaomiao's residence and went to the residences of their targets. After finding 2 empty residences, Pu Luo found a few people in Li Zongyuan's residence. Pu Luo's soul power was very strong. He could detect the other party, but they weren't alert. They are indeed together. However, one of them isn't here. What's his name again? The one called Yu Chu isn't here. Let's go and fight him again. Pu Luo looked at the few of them and asked. They are alert. If we force them, it will cause a huge commotion. We have to think of a way to make it smaller. The Great Demon King said. Yu Chu's detection ability isn't much lower than ours. If we go over, he will know. We can only force it. Lin Piaomiao thought for a while and said. Get close to him in the spatial turbulence. Once we get close, we'll take him down with lightning speed. The key is whether we can finish the battle quickly. Night Sorrow said. Chapter 1754. That works. Night Sorrow was surprised. Normally it wouldn't work. But that guy's guard against Li Zongyuan should be at its lowest right now. He won't sense Li Zongyuan's aura carefully. We just need a little time, Pu Luo said. Then the 4 of them took action. The Great Demon King took out his weapon and pierced through space. Lin Piaomiao brought Night Sorrow in as well. Night Sorrow looked at the Great Demon King. The Great Demon King's domain was black rolling energy. It was the destruction domain. Lin Piaomiao's was the void domain. They were both supreme domains. But at this moment, Lin Piaomiao's voice sounded in Night Sorrow's mind. The supreme attribute is extremely difficult to comprehend. The Great Demon King is strong because he has a deep understanding of the destruction attribute. But he wasn't born with it. Just like me, he can't be perfect. Look at the FC version of chapter N up D. Night Sorrow didn't say anything. But he understood that his perfect attribute was the foundation. It was an incredible advantage. When they arrived near Yu Chu's mansion, Night Sorrow and the other 2 hid in the space turbulence and waited. At this moment, Pu Luo also arrived. He used to walk confidently, but now he had his hands behind his back, looking old-fashioned. Seeing Li Zongyuan appear, Yu Chu stood up to welcome him. Li Zongyuan was currently the leader of their group. When Yu Chu clasped his hands to greet him, Pu Luo gave him a bear hug. At this moment, the Great Demon King cut through space and Night Sorrow and the other 2 appeared in the real world. The Great Demon King's right hand swung the brick and hit the back of Yu Chu's head. Night Sorrow's golden emperor seal went through the gap between Pu Luo's loosened arm and hit Yu Chu's face. Yu Chu's face was instantly distorted and flattened. Yu Chu's body went limp. No matter how high one's cultivation was, the head was always the weakest part. The violent vibration would make anyone faint. Who asked you to burn my house? The moment Yu Chu fell, Lin Piaomiao lifted her skirt and stomped on Yu Chu's face a few times with her boots. Your house, that's right. Try this? Pu Luo took out his golden brick and handed it to Lin Piaomiao. Glancing at Pu Luo, Lin Piaomiao took the brick from Pu Luo. She bent down and slapped Yu Chu's face twice. Then she stood up and kicked him again. Alright, Sister Shan'er, don't do this. It's too rough. Night Sorrow pulled Lin Piaomiao back. It's nothing. Everyone has a temper. Destroying your courtyard is the same as slapping our faces. Lin Piaomiao threw the brick to Pu Luo and clapped her hands. Don't throw it carelessly. This is a divine weapon for smashing people. Pu Luo took the brick and wiped it twice. When we get back, give me your treasures. I'll help you deal with them, Night Sorrow said. The 4 of them took Yu Chu's new equipment and storage ring. After that, Lin Piaomiao, who was still angry, even set a fire. Night Sorrow added a few more flames. He didn't want Lin Piaomiao to bear this karma. After returning to their residence, they began to divide up the chapters. Night Sorrow, you said you wanted to deal with this divine weapon. Don't break it. Feels pretty good when I use it now. Pu Luo tossed the golden brick in his hand and said. He, Great Demon King and Night Sorrow were all very casual when conversing. He didn't use any form of address. We've known each other for a few days now, so I won't hide it from you too. My brick is different from yours. If you hit someone, they'll only feel pain and faint. But mine is different. I have the sacred scripture of the human Tao, the book of Tao on it. If I smash it, it'll destroy one's luck and damage one's merit. Of course, the people I smash are all asking for it. Night Sorrow held the human emperor's seal and activated it. Golden words started to flow at the bottom of the human emperor's seal. F***CK. That's the human emperor's seal. How did you turn it into a brick? Great Demon King stood up and said vulgarly. Yes, it's the human emperor's seal. It's what Li Zongyuan wants. My master, the peerless sword emperor, was worried that someone might covet it, so he helped me disguise it. That's why it's like this now, Night Sorrow said. How did you turn the human emperor's seal into this? Pu Luo shook his head. I think it's pretty good. Whoever it hits will have bad luck. How are you going to deal with us robbers? Great Demon King took out the brick. He didn't put it in his storage ring. He kept it behind his waist, ready to use it at any time. I'll inject some human emperor's chi into your weapon. I don't know how effective it will be, but I'm sure it'll have something with human emperor's chi. Smacking people won't damage your merit and luck, Night Sorrow said. Good. In the future, smacking people will be enforcing justice on behalf of the heavens. Night Sorrow, you're the virtuous emperor. You can smack anyone you want. Great Demon King, how do you feel? Pu Luo looked at Great Demon King excitedly. That's right. I'll smack this thing on that heaven's pole old man's face sooner or later. Later, Commander Lin, do me a favor and let me go to evil punishing land. A few years ago I could still sense Guizu's aura, but now I can't. I won't let that thing with ghost chi live, Great Demon King said. He's completely dead. That was before Night Sorrow was banished, Lin Piaomiao said. That old thing is completely dead? That's a good thing. Unfortunately, I didn't get his ghost wings. I only got his ghost eyes. Don't think I killed him. That old thing's cultivation method is too evil. I told him to stop, but he wouldn't listen. What else can I do but kill him? Great Demon King shook his head. At this time, Lin Piaomiao's body shook and a pair of blue energy wings appeared on her back. Ghost wings. Pu Luo's eyes widened. Then Lin Piaomiao told them about how she and Night Sorrow entered evil punishing land. Pu Luo and Great Demon King nodded at Night Sorrow. They knew that this was the power of merit. It could affect fate. Night Sorrow placed Pu Luo and Great Demon King's golden bricks in front of him. Then he activated the virtuous immortal body and activated the human emperor's seal. He channeled the power of merit into the two golden bricks. But after a while he couldn't do it anymore. The power of the bricks was limited. That's it. The power of merit is the power of the heavenly Tao. Not everything can bear it. It's good enough to have a little power of merit in it. Pu Luo stopped Night Sorrow, who was about to continue channeling power of merit. At this time Lin Piaomiao's face turned cold. The Golden Dragon King arrived at Ethereal City, but he left in an instant. What's the situation? Night Sorrow asked. At this time, Night Sorrow's original body felt the vibration of the clear sky pagoda and came out of seclusion. Datura stood in front of the clear sky pagoda. Yun Huang and Liang Yu were also there. What happened? Night Sorrow saw that their faces weren't good. When we were cultivating just now, a middle-aged man in a brocade robe came and took Long Jin away, Yun Huang said. Did he say anything? Night Sorrow's face was filled with killing intent. Brothers were his reverse scale. He only said one thing. He won't hurt Long Jin, Yun Huang said. Chapter 1755. Will Long Jin be in danger? Night Sorrow's eyes were filled with worry. They were brothers who had gone through life and death situations together. No. I just didn't expect Long Jin's bloodline to be so pure that the Golden Dragon King could sense it. Besides, the Golden Dragon King wouldn't go so far to the Misty Dynasty to kill someone. Perhaps this is Long Jin's opportunity. There are too few pure Golden Dragons. Those who awaken the Golden Dragon bloodline will at least reach the Emperor realm, Lin Piaomiao said to Night Sorrow. Hearing Sister Xian'er say so, there shouldn't be any danger. I'm relieved. Night Sorrow let out a sigh of relief and returned to the clear sky pagoda. After confirming that his brother wasn't in danger, he stopped worrying. In the Tianhuang city, Night Sorrow shook his head. What happened? Pu Luo asked. Yishang explained the situation to him. The Golden Dragon bloodline is a big deal for dragons. He will definitely bring it back to awaken it and focus on nurturing it. How could he be hurt? Don't worry. Your brother will be a dragon in the future, Pu Luo said with a smile. While they were talking, Lu Qi arrived. Seventh Elder is here. Have a seat. Lin Piaomiao stood up and invited Lu Qi to sit. It can't be that Yu Chu complained, right? Seventh Elder, look. Night Sorrow's courtyard was demolished and we didn't say anything, Pu Luo said. I'm here to drink tea. I don't have any other intentions. I'm here to tell you Chu that I was here. Lu Chi looked at Pu Luo and said. Then they drank tea. Lu Chi asked Night Sorrow if he was used to it and said that someone would repair Night Sorrow's residence tomorrow. Then he stood up and was about to leave. Seventh Elder, that's it? The Great Demon King asked in surprise. It's done. Actually, I'm very envious of you. You can do whatever you want. Lu Chi said and left. If it was someone else, Seventh Elder would definitely say a few words. Last time I had a conflict with Heaven's Fate, I was under a lot of pressure. Even the Grand Elder and Seventh Elder talked. Otherwise, Heaven's Fate wouldn't have a chance to escape. Now it's good. No matter what happens, nothing will happen, the Great Demon King said. Night Sorrow's fate. Li Zongyuan and the others didn't separate. A big battle was not suitable either. If there was a real fight, then the Great Elder and Seventh Elder would definitely come out. The other party seized the opportunity when Lin Piaomiao wasn't on guard and ran away. They were all peerless experts. If they didn't fight, Lin Piaomiao wouldn't be able to stop them. Lin Piaomiao was furious. She stayed in Night Moon Villa. Night Sorrow's original body couldn't cultivate anymore and came out of seclusion. #T forever. Free to read novels. That day when Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao were chatting, a middle-aged lady came. She wore a jade phoenix ornament on her head. Ice Phoenix race. You want to snatch people too? Lin Piaomiao's fighting spirit exploded. Elder Lin, don't be angry. I know about the previous few waves of people who came to snatch people. They didn't have any bad intentions. They left after snatching people. I don't want to have any conflicts, the middle-aged lady said. Then why didn't you snatch and leave? Why did you come to provoke us? Lin Piaomiao's hand was still on her sword. I wanted to. But Elder Lin has been staying here. I don't have a chance. Also, I have to get the person I want from him. The middle-aged lady looked at Night Sorrow. Ice Phoenix race, you are here for my Aunt Fei? Night Sorrow understood something. The middle-aged lady nodded. Let's sit down and talk. I won't snatch people. She comes with me, she will. If she doesn't, I won't force her. After thinking for a while, Night Sorrow invited the middle-aged lady into the hall of Night Moon Villa. There are some things you don't know. The world you came from is a special place. It was created because of special reasons. Many people, I should say that some people know about it. They have exiled their descendants there to seek opportunities. Now you have seen it. The Green Rock race and the Nine-Tailed Fox race have taken their descendants away. Because they have a foundation, they can start nurturing them. Our Ice Phoenix race naturally has descendants here with you, the middle-aged lady said. Then I won't stop you. Everything will be up to Aunt Fei. Aluo went to the Nine Regions world to call her out. She should have recovered by now. Night Sorrow said to Datura, who was sitting at the side. He had helped Wu Feng solve his body's problem. The fire poison in Wu Lingfei's body was also dealt with. She was still in the Nine Regions world, recovering and cultivating. Then I thank you. The middle-aged lady cupped her hands at Night Sorrow. I still don't understand. So, those who were taken away were all from the Nine Regions world, but my brother Long Jin wasn't from there, Night Sorrow said. I can only say that the Golden Dragon King is stupid. He didn't control his strength well and threw his descendant out. In the end he missed. This is a joke. Of course, the result is not bad, the middle-aged lady said with a smile. All right. I'm convinced. I understand. Night Sorrow understood. Long Jin should have been born in the Nine Regions world. A moment later Wu Lingfei and Datura arrived. Wu Lingfei looked at the middle-aged lady and was a little stunned. She felt that she was connected by blood. Child, your mother is in seclusion. So your aunt is here to take you home. The middle-aged lady stood up. You are my aunt? Wu Lingfei's voice trembled. Yes. Once you return home you will understand everything. The middle-aged lady nodded. But I don't want to go back now. The Ice Phoenix race doesn't need me. Wu Lingfei shook her head. No, we have divined that you are the Golden Phoenix of the Ice Phoenix race. This is the second time in the history of the Ice Phoenix race, so there are some responsibilities that need to be shouldered by you. You are the future of the Ice Phoenix race. Once you return to the Ice Phoenix race you will be able to rise quickly. Only then can you keep up with the pace, the middle-aged lady said. Night Sorrow. Wu Lingfei looked at Night Sorrow. Family is the root. I have to go back. It can also increase your strength. Night Sorrow nodded at Wu Lingfei. Then Aunt Fei will go back. I will look for you after I see the situation. My roots are also in the Nine Regions world. Wu Lingfei said with a sigh. She had the heart of an expert and wanted to become strong. Kit, you have to work hard. The descendant of the Golden Dragon, the Ice Phoenix race's Golden Phoenix, the Azure Rock's son, and the Nine-Tailed Fox's descendant are all top bloodlines. The middle-aged lady stood up. I know that the Ice Phoenix race is very strong. But I don't want to hear news of my aunt being wronged. Otherwise, no matter how strong you are, I, Night Sorrow, will fight to the end, Night Sorrow said to the middle-aged lady. Chapter 1756. Wu Lingfei left with the elder of the Ice Phoenix race. Liang Yu, how are the members of the God-slaying team now? After sending Wu Lingfei off, Night Sorrow went to the base of the God-slaying team. Everyone is working hard. Their strength is also increasing rapidly, Liang Yu said. Sister Xian Air, is there a special environment that can help everyone increase their cultivation speed and level? Night Sorrow looked at Lin Piaomiao. There is the Eye of the Storm. Other than the sovereign attribute, there are all kinds of attribute wills. It is suitable for your brothers, Lin Piaomiao said after thinking for a while. After thinking for a while, Night Sorrow decided to bring his brothers to the Eye of the Storm. He could comprehend and deduce by himself. However, the members of the God-slaying team needed the help of the environment. Some of them were still at the Holy King level and needed to comprehend wills. Everyone's cultivation potential was different. Even if Night Sorrow provided them with the spirit accumulation pill to increase their potential, they still had to rely on themselves to comprehend the will of heaven and earth. Lin Piaomiao took out a three-legged cauldron. This has a time acceleration of close to 30 times. Night Sorrow, give it to the right people and let them use it. Night Sorrow did not stand on ceremony with Lin Piaomiao. He handed the cauldron to Liang Yu directly. We will work hard and become the leader's helpers. We can do it in the 9 domains world. In the celestial realm, give us time and we can do it too, Liang Yu said. Of course. There is nothing we can't do. If we work hard, there will be no problem. Night Sorrow nodded. Night Sorrow, your brother's cultivation speed is undeniable. They are the best in the celestial realm, Lin Piaomiao said. In the celestial realm, it was rare to have the cultivation of a holy king and king at such a young age. Their potential is not lower than anyone else's. They will be key figures in any force, Night Sorrow said. You're the Merit Emperor. Although they don't have any merit, they're blessed with good fortune. This is something that even the descendants of some races in the celestial realm can't compare to. Lin Piaomiao explained the situation of the members of the God-slaying team. It was Brother Shirsan who gave us unlimited resources and the best conditions for cultivation. The road is paved. We are only responsible for walking it, Qingjin said. Night Sorrow, since you've opened the path, those who walk behind you won't be able to walk ahead of you. However, their speed is definitely fast. As long as they can keep up, they'll definitely succeed. Also, that elder from the Ice Phoenix race said that your 9 regions world is very special. Otherwise, why would the various divine beast races be willing to send their descendants there? It's just that I don't know about these things, Lin Piaomiao said. Brothers, stay alive. As long as you keep striving, you will be able to carve out a path. Night Sorrow waved his arm at the members of the God-slaying team. Captain, go and do your work. I'll take good care of our brothers, Liang Yu said to Night Sorrow. All right. Remember, if anyone doesn't want to follow us, kill them. If there's any problem, come back and find me, Night Sorrow said to Liang Yu. Liang Yu brought his men and the escort Lin Piaomiao caught, Lin Qixing and left. Night Sorrow then returned to the Clear Sky Pagoda to cultivate. Tianhuang City was peaceful now. If Li Zongyuan's group didn't split up, Night Sorrow and the others wouldn't have a chance to kill them. Mo Lu came again. Night Sorrow and the other 3 went up to the city gate tower. Mo Lu threw the storage ring to Night Sorrow. This time, Mo Lu doubled the resources. 20 million Saint Spirit stones, a bottle of Saint Spirit liquid and 2 pieces of meteorite iron. Your demon-winged clan isn't good enough. 20 million Saint Spirit stones is passable. Other than this, it's just scrap metal. Great Elder of the Demon-Winged Clan, if you aren't sincere, then I won't play with you anymore. Tianhuang City's environment isn't good. I plan to return to the Celestial Realm to cultivate, Night Sorrow said as he put away the storage ring. Yishang, this is just a show of sincerity. I've already taken out a lot. It's not like I don't have anything good that you want. Let's talk. Mo Lu narrowed his eyes at Yishang. If he could, he wanted to punch Night Sorrow's smiling face into pieces. However, he couldn't get angry because Mo Chenji's body was too important. If she recovered, she would be the top fighting force of the demon-winged clan. She could even change the direction of the war between the demon-winged clan and the human race. Have you thought about it? Your demon-winged clan sent 5 monarchs to kill me, an emperor. If I can't let this matter pass, why should I talk to you? 30 million Saint Spirit stones and 50 kilograms of Ash God stone. I'll talk with you. Night Sorrow stated his price. In your dreams. Emolu roared. All right. You think I'm dreaming? I won't send you off. Night Sorrow flashed and left the city gate tower. Pu Luo waved the golden brick at Emolu, clenching teeth. The great demon king and Lin Piaomiao followed Night Sorrow down the city gate tower. Then they went to Night Sorrow's yard. Night Sorrow's yard had been renovated. Lin Piaomiao helped with the decorations. It was quite elegant. Night Sorrow, why do you want the Ash God stone? That thing is the lifeblood of the demon-winged clan. However, you've succeeded. You have to give me some, the great demon king said. You cultivate the power of destruction. Night Sorrow also needs to cultivate the power of destruction. You want to rob? You want to rob your own people? Lin Piaomiao looked at the great demon king with dissatisfaction. 50 kilograms. I only want 5 kilograms. I'll use other things to exchange for it. I just want to feel if the Ash God stone can bring about a breakthrough. How can this be considered robbery? The great demon king's gaze was fixed on Night Sorrow. Original version _J first release. Alright, let's see if the demon-winged clan will compromise or not. If it's too little, they will compromise, but I think it's meaningless. Let's make them bleed. This might be the last time. If they bring it over and I don't talk about it, they won't give us any more resources, Night Sorrow said. That's true. But you're too ruthless. The Ash God stone doesn't mean much to us humans, unless we cultivate the power of destruction. However, that's not the case for the demon-winged clan. That's their lifeblood. They can't cultivate without the Ash God stone. Moreover, the production of the Ash God stone is extremely low. They can only produce 1 kilogram every million years. They don't even have enough for themselves. You want 100 kilograms, which is the production of 100 million years. I'm afraid they can't take it out. After all, they don't have to worry about it. That's right. We're natural enemies. I almost died in their hands. Besides, I have the initiative. They don't have to talk about it. Night Sorrow didn't really care. It was an external benefit. It would be best if they had it, but it didn't matter if they didn't. Besides, he felt that the demon-winged clan would compromise. After all, Mo Qinji was an expert of the tribulation of the 7 emperors. Her status and position in the demon-winged clan was extremely high. That Mo Lu didn't leave immediately. That means there's still room for negotiation. Let's wait. Mo Qinji's body is in your hands anyway, Pu Luo said. Chapter 1757. You want to talk about blasphemy? Lin Piaomiao looked at Night Sorrow. Yes, they dare not give me 50 kilograms of Ash God stone. This matter will not end so easily, Night Sorrow said. Update latest/update KNAU1. They have no choice but to accept it, Pu Luo said. Mo Lu left. He was furious. He had visited twice in a row and didn't even get a chance to talk. 50 kilograms of divine ash stone would damage the vitality of the Demon Wing clan, because it was a product of 100 million years. Although the Demon Wing clan had existed for countless years and had a stockpile of divine ash stone, the Demon Wing clan consumed it every year. Even if they controlled their usage, there was only a stockpile of 50 kilograms. This stockpile was prepared for the inner clan geniuses. Only geniuses with resources would have the opportunity to rise quickly. Now that Night Sorrow asked for 50 kilograms, it was like draining the blood of the Demon Wings race. Disagree? Mo Lu couldn't make such a decision. First of all, he had to carry out Mo Tianji's orders because of his identity and status. Also, looking at the big picture, Mo Tianji was an essential expert of the Demon Wing clan. The strength of the current cultivators was completely different from that of a few years ago. However, Mo Lu also had his misgivings. He wondered if taking out 50 kilograms of ash divine stone would have any effect. This was because this was the right to negotiate. It was hard to say if they would be able to reach a conclusion in the end because Yi Saro was too evil. Returned to the Demon Wing's imperial city, Mo Lu went to the sacrificial tower and stood in front of Mo Tianji's statue. The result. Mo Tianji's voice came out. She only said 2 words. My lord, his request is very high. Mo Lu bowed and said, I don't care. You can't lose your body. Mo Qianji didn't ask for details and directly stated her request. Mo Lu bowed and left the sacrificial tower. He wanted to talk to Mo Qianji but she didn't let him. After thinking for a while, Mo Lu prepared 2 storage rings. One of them contained the Holy Spirit stones and 10 kilograms of Ash Divine stones. The other storage ring contained 80 kilograms of Ash Divine stones. He planned to keep some backup plans and see if 10 kilograms of Ash Divine stones would work. However, Mo Lu didn't move immediately. If he moved too quickly, it meant that he was in a hurry and that the Demon Wings race had a lot of Ash God Stone. After a month, Mo Lu finally arrived outside the Heavenly Wasteland City. Night Sorrow and the other 3 appeared at the top of the city gate. After looking at the Demon Tower, Night Sorrow asked, "Have you brought the item? Our Demon Wing clan's production of Ash God Stone is very low, and we have a fixed consumption every year. So we only have 20 pounds, Mo Lu said. Tenjin, you can go back now. I can find an expert to refine Mo Tianji's body into a puppet. Even if I sell it to the Aboriginals as a plaything, I won't give it to you. If you don't want to talk, then don't talk. Take back the 10 gene of divine ash stone." Night Sorrow roared at Mo Lu, "No. I'll give it to you, but I have a condition. No matter what the outcome of the discussion is, you can't desecrate that body." When Mo Lu saw that Night Sorrow was about to leave, he immediately waved his hand. The message from Night Sorrow's words was what he was most afraid of. Once her body was violated, Mo Tianji would be finished. Mo Tianji was related to the Cultivation civilization of the Demon Wing race. She could even be said to represent the fate of the Demon Wing race. "You're still talking to me about this now? You're worried about the resources, but I'm not. If you don't want to talk, I won't talk either." Night Sorrow said to Mo Lu, "Fine. I'll talk to you." Mo Lu gritted his teeth and threw 2 storage rings to Night Sorrow. After checking them, Night Sorrow kept the storage rings. "Now we can talk about how we can return that body to our Demon Wing race. That's the body of our ancestor. We can't let it wander outside," Mo Lu said. "Mo Qianji is an expert of your Demon Wing race. If I give you the body, she'll come and kill us humans?" Night Sorrow looked at Mo Lu and said, "You can state the price. Even if our Demon Wing race doesn't have it, we'll find a way to gather it for you," Mo Lu said. "I won't give you Mo Qianji's body." Night Sorrow wasn't afraid of Mo Lu's anger. He had already gotten the resources. Whether Mo Lu turned hostile or not, he wouldn't get any more benefits. "You're shameless. I've given you so many resources, and this is the only reply you can give me?" Mo Lu's eyes were bloodshot. He was on the verge of going berserk. "Our races are enemies. I'm not going overboard. When I was in Tianhuang Mountain, didn't you try to kill me by hook or by crook?" Night Sorrow rebutted Mo Lu, "Fine. I'll trade these resources for a promise from you. Can you not give the body to others?" Mo Lu knew that he couldn't get Mo Tianji's body back. Night Sorrow was considering the overall situation of the human race. "I can do that. Give me 10 more Cloud Dragon fruits." "I won't give Mo Tianji's body to anyone," Night Sorrow said. "Deal. I'll send it to you in 5 days." Mo Lu let out a sigh of relief and turned to leave. Is he stupid? 50 kilograms of Ashen God Stone for Mo Tianji's body. Did you see that? Why did he take the Cloud Dragon fruits? Great Demon King was confused. He's not stupid. He thinks that Night Sorrow can't do anything to Mo Tianji's body. He's worried about the experts of the human race. Pu Luo said. "I see. Actually, I don't plan on giving Mo Tianji's body to others. Let's go and celebrate." Night Sorrow was happy. He had extorted the Demon Winged clan several times. He had gotten 60 million Saint Spirit Stones and some top-quality resources. These were all very difficult to accumulate. Pu Luo and Great Demon King were also very excited. They felt good about being blackmailed. After drinking 2 jars of wine, Night Sorrow gave Great Demon King 5 kilograms of Ashen God Stone. Pu Luo, Sister Xin, do you want it? No, our attributes don't match. Pu Luo shook his head. Lin Piaomiao didn't want it either. She didn't need the Ashen God Stone. Ashen God Stone could only be used by those who cultivated the destruction attribute. It was useless to others. "I won't take advantage of you. When we go back, I'll find you some resources suitable for you," Great Demon King said. "Forget it. It's boring to divide it so clearly. Don't reject this. He'll send me another 10 in a few days." Night Sorrow took out the Cloud Dragon fruits and gave 1 to each of them. This time, Great Demon King and Pu Luo didn't reject it because Mo Lu would send more. This is so comfortable. This is life. Pu Luo was very excited. I still want to mess with Li Zongyuan, but this guy is a coward. It's not easy to do it. Great Demon King said. Think of something. After you took his armor, he found someone to make a Vajra battle armor at a high price. That suits me best. Pu Luo said. He liked Li Zongyuan's new armor. He didn't use any weapons, only his iron fists. He cultivated the Vajra battle technique. We have to think of something. I've got it. I'll send my men to attack his territory. You won't go back? We'll go back and mess with him. Great Demon King came up with an idea. Chapter 1758. The elders and commanders of the Heavenly Barren City were almost all leaders of the forces in the Celestial Realm. Other than the forces in the Celestial Realm, the Great Demon King also had the support of another realm. Therefore he could afford to have a war of forces. Great Demon King, let's not rush. Let's wait and see. They can't keep doing this. It's embarrassing, Pu Luo said. Yes, if we start a war of forces, things will get out of hand. It's not good for our reputation. Let's wait and see. There will be plenty of opportunities. You two are also clones. While the original body cultivates, the clones will fight with them, Lin Piaomiao said. Lin Piaomiao didn't want Night Sorrow's merit and luck to be hurt because of a war of forces. Then we'll listen to you. However, our team needs to be strong. The Celestial Realm needs a black brick. Since we can't kill them, we'll just use a black brick. The Great Demon King looked at Night Sorrow and said, That's a good idea. We should form a team and do it together. The Grand Elder and the 7 Elders also have to look at the big picture. They can't punish us, Lin Piaomiao said. That's a good idea. Ruisi and Yuzhu met me 2 days ago. They said I had something good to tell them, Pu Luo said. These two will do. If we want to do it, our partners must have good character and strength. Just one of them is enough. The Great Demon King pointed at Night Sorrow because Night Sorrow's cultivation was the lowest. You despise me? And you despise me? Then spit out my ash god stone. Night Sorrow stared at the Great Demon King. Are you a dog? You're turning against me just like that? The Great Demon King rubbed his nose. The boat of friendship capsizes just like that? Pu Luo straightened his body and looked at Night Sorrow and the Great Demon King. No, how can I lower myself to his level? The Great Demon King said. All right. You win. Night Sorrow shrugged. He knew that the Great Demon King was joking, and so did Pu Luo. They were just looking for fun. Let's make a batch of bricks. In the future, we'll give each of those who have a sense of justice and can afford to play with them. Who should we target? Night Sorrow is the best choice, Pu Luo said. All right, you guys decide who you want. I'm only in charge of making a move. The Great Demon King nodded. Without a chance to attack Li Zongyuan and the rest, Night Sorrow rested in his courtyard. Lin Piaomiao also stayed in Night Sorrow's courtyard. Night Sorrow's courtyard was very lively. People often came to visit. Needless to say, the Great Demon King and Pu Luo would spend most of their time in Night Sorrow's courtyard. Pu Luo was very talented. Nobody knew where he got his hands on the Tao Te Ching. He took a carving knife and started to carve on his golden brick. Misty, what is this guy doing? Rain Bamboo, who had just joined the group, asked. Forging the human emperor's seal. Lin Piaomiao said. Pu Luo, mine must be done too. The Great Demon King slammed the brick on the table in front of Pu Luo. Pu Luo, who had been concentrating, suddenly shook his hand. The carving knife slipped and stabbed his hand. Blood came out immediately. In order to improve his senses, Pu Luo didn't have any energy to protect his body. Naturally, he bled. Pu Luo looked at the Great Demon King with fire in his eyes. You made a mistake? It doesn't matter. Let's continue. The Great Demon King smiled at Pu Luo. Don't come near me for 3 days. Otherwise, don't ask me to do this for you. After staring at the Great Demon King for a while, Pu Luo realized that he couldn't do anything to the Great Demon King. He didn't know how to scold him and he couldn't hit him. All right. The Great Demon King looked at Pu Luo's healed hand, which was still bleeding. He took a few steps back. Pu Luo, will this work? Rain Bamboo, who had a good relationship with Pu Luo, asked. I don't know. But it should look good. At least it will show patterns on someone's face. Rolling up his sleeves, Pu Luo took the carving knife and continued carving under the brick. You're really talented. Night Sorrow was impressed. Now he understood that no matter what status one had, one's inner world was different. Pu Luo's inner world was simple. He just wanted to have fun. Pu Luo was very careful. Even though he knew it was a fake, he still did it carefully. It took him 4 days to carve a Tao Te Ching on the bottom of the brick. Why are you so serious? The great demon king didn't understand why Pu Luo was so serious about carving a word. Although it's fake, it's the Tao Te Ching in my heart. It will accompany me in the future and carry out the justice and morality in my heart, Pu Luo said. There was no smile on his face. He was very solemn. I understand, the great demon king said. At the same time, he put his brick in front of Pu Luo. Let's take a break. I'll help you. Pu Luo nodded. Seeing that Pu Luo and the great demon king were busy, Night Sorrow planned to leave for a while and send some resources back to the Night Moon Villa. The Ash God Stone was only suitable for his real body. I update most $quick $up asterisk. Come back soon. Without you, Tianhuang City will be boring. The great demon king looked at Night Sorrow and said, Okay, I'll come back after I send the resources back. It's too ostentatious to carry a lot of Holy Spirit stones. If I get hit by the black brick, it'll be a big loss, Night Sorrow said. That's impossible. But you're right. We'll wait for you to come back. We still have big things to do. Let's take care of Tianhuang City and then go to the divine capital. That's the fun place, Pu Luo said to Night Sorrow. Then Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao left Tianhuang City. Sister Xian Air, where are the Golden Dragon Clan, the Green Rock Clan, the Nine-Tailed Fox Clan, and the Ice Phoenix Clan? Night Sorrow asked while sitting in the teleportation portal. They all have their own clans. They're all small spatial worlds. But they're different from ordinary worlds. Their worlds are all connected to the celestial realm. You can also call them grotto heavens. They're here to take people away. They're probably thinking about their descendants. Let's not be hostile, Lin Piaomiao said. No hostility. As long as they don't hurt my brothers, I'll be grateful, Night Sorrow said. These few clans are allies with us humans. Because the Demon-Winged clan is too strong, we can't rely on humans alone. A long time ago we were defeated and the celestial realm was massacred. Later on, the humans rose and led the 100 clans to take back the celestial realm. Many of our ancestors fell in the war, Lin Piaomiao said. The celestial realm has fallen before? Night Sorrow was stunned. Chapter 1759. Why is the 9-domain world so special? I want to know, but I don't know who to ask. Night Sorrow voiced out his doubts. The Golden Dragon race and the Green Rock race have existed since the creation of the world. It's hard to say what level the Almighty in their race are. It's normal for them to be able to predict something. If there's something good, they wouldn't fall behind. I guess it's because of the perfect supreme attribute, merit and luck. However, all of these are now with you. Their descendants didn't fight for you. Lin Piaomiao said. Sister Xian, you mean they were all after the perfect supreme attribute? In the end, the perfect supreme attribute came to me? Night Sorrow looked at Lin Piaomiao and asked. Perhaps. It's not that easy to change the path of the heavenly Tao. However, these races still profited. Their descendants have a good foundation and are also blessed with luck. When they go back and nurture them, they will be the elites of their race. They will be the future pillars. Lin Piaomiao said. That's not right. After I was born, the 9-domain world had existed for tens of thousands of years. Aunt Fei is older than me by a few hundred years. Tianyu and Yi Mei are younger than me by more than 10 years. Long Jin is older than me. Night Sorrow said. They can set a dormant period for their descendants after they release them. They will only be born when they meet certain conditions. It's not difficult for them to grow up. So it's hard to say. Anyway, you're fine now. Lin Piaomiao said. Night Sorrow still didn't understand. The original 9-domain world didn't have supreme attributes. However, Lin Piaomiao didn't know much. Perhaps one day he would have to ask someone who understood everything. After returning to the Yeyue Mountain Villa, Yi Shang handed over the Ash Divine Stones and Saint Spirit Stones to his true body. He had brought back more than 70 million Saint Spirit Stones this time, of which he had swindled 60 million from the Demon-Winged clan. During this period of time, Yi Shang had received about 10 million Saint Spirit Stones from the auction. This amount of resources was something Night Sorrow wouldn't have dared to think about in the past. When he was in Big Dipper City, he only had a few dozen Saint Spirit Stones. Night Sorrow had left the materials for alchemy and artifact forging with his clone. Now, his main body was working hard to increase his cultivation. Alchemy and artifact forging were things that wasted energy and time, so it was best to leave them to his clone. Night Sorrow returned to the 9 Regions world and went to the bottom of the Heaven Sealing Hall to look at Mo Tianji's body. Mo Qingji's body lay there as if she was asleep. However, there was a murderous aura surrounding her. That was the killing aura of the 9 regions which could not be absorbed or refined. At the same time, it also prevented other auras from approaching. Feeling that there were no problems, Night Sorrow returned to the 9 regions world and walked around. He felt that other than the rapid development of the 9 regions world, there was nothing special about it. If there was anything else as the Realm Lord, he would know immediately. Night Sorrow didn't feel anything. He went to the world of reincarnation and sensed the aura of his children. Night Sorrow then teleported to the Origin Dao Sky. His body flickered twice and he arrived at a courtyard in the Origin Dao Sky. At this moment, there were 2 people sitting in the courtyard and 2 people practicing swords. The 2 sitting were Night Sorrow's 2 daughters, Yi Qingyan and Yi Xiaolei. The 2 practicing swords were Yi Yujun and Yi Xiaoluo. They were both adults now. Father. Yi Qingyan and Yi Xiaolei stood up and hugged Night Sorrow. Their faces were filled with excitement. Yi Yujun and Yi Xiaoluo put away their swords and cupped their fists in front of Night Sorrow. Everyone sit down. How old are you now? You still don't know what to do. Night Sorrow patted his daughter's shoulders and sat down. Father, you haven't been busy recently? Yi Xiaoluo was already a young man. It's fine. I went back to the 9 regions world to deal with some matters. I missed you and came to see you. You're all working hard. Night Sorrow looked at his children and felt very happy. His children were very harmonious and hard-working. Father, it's our fault. We didn't go to see you and made you come all the way here to see us. Yi Xiaoluo said with guilt. There's nothing wrong with you. Remember, you're the best in your father's eyes. As your father, it's not a big deal for me to come and see you. Night Sorrow said with a smile. At this moment, Origin Dao Sky Lord arrived. Night Sorrow was now the domain lord of the primal chaos world. He had a high status and status. Naturally, he had to receive him. 5 Yong Q Jio 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 Jio. Novel K, Origin Dao Sky Lord, I'm very sorry. I was anxious to see my children and didn't go to see you first. Night Sorrow cupped his fists towards Origin Dao Sky Lord. What are you saying, Lord? Your words make me feel ashamed. Origin Dao Sky Lord cupped his fists towards Night Sorrow. After sitting down, Origin Dao Sky Lord discussed some matters with Night Sorrow. He felt that the primal chaos world was very stable now and wanted to search for Origin Dao Sky's inheritance. That's not a problem. However, the safety and stability of the primal chaos world is the most important. In other words, Origin Dao Sky's people can't come to the primal chaos world to develop. Now we're grabbing resources from the primal chaos world. We can't become a resource base for others. Night Sorrow looked at Origin Dao Sky Lord and expressed his opinion. This was also his bottom line. Origin Dao Sky Lord understands. This is the bottom line of everyone in the primal chaos world. We won't be a base for any faction. What the primal chaos world is today was fought for by Lord Domain Lord. Everyone cherishes it. Origin Dao Sky Lord nodded. All the cultivators in the primal chaos world knew that the primal chaos world's limitless room for development was because of Night Sorrow. Therefore they were very grateful and respectful. I've troubled Lord Domain Lord with these children. This is a little financial support from me to Origin Dao Sky. Night Sorrow cupped his fists at Origin Dao Sky Lord and took out a storage ring. Lord Domain Lord, you don't have to do this. You've given me a lot of faith by teaching these 4 children. I don't know how envious those fellows are. Forget about the financial support, Origin Dao Sky Lord said with a smile. That was the truth. Origin Dao Sky Lord was teaching Night Sorrow's 4 good seedlings alone. Tang Jianfeng and the others were very envious. It's not like that. In my heart, apart from the God-slaying team in the 9 Heavens army, the most worthy force in the primal chaos realm is the primal Dao God. For countless years, the primal Dao God has maintained the stability of the world of reincarnation. This is something that no other force can do. Take it. Yi Shang stuffed the storage ring into the primal Dao Lord's hand. Master, my father's family is very big. You should take it. Yi Xiaoluo said. That's good. In the future, when the primal chaos world needs Origin Dao Sky's help, they will have the strength to fight. Origin Dao Sky Lord nodded. After spending a day with his children, Night Sorrow arrived at the Qing Emperor's imperial court and the 9 Chong Pavilion. Seeing Night Sorrow, Nu Lin and the others were very excited. Night Sorrow was the soul of their army. With Night Sorrow around, they would be invincible. Commander, we're too bored. We want to conquer the celestial realm. Nu Lin said. All right. 9 Heavens Army, move to Star Moon Lake. We want to conquer the world again. Night Sorrow looked at the soldiers of Nine Heavens' army and said, Chapter 1760. Yes, sir. The arena was filled with the sound of armor being knocked on. Nu Lin, Qin Leitang, and Ning Weiwei, Ji Feng, Qi Wang, and Qi Wang were all filled with fighting spirit. They were soldiers and war was their destiny. Nu Lin, these are the resources I have prepared for everyone. Remember, resources are meant to be used. If you don't use them, the Holy Spirit stones are no different from rocks. Strength and combat power are actually life. They are the capital to ensure survival, Night Sorrow said to Endeavor. After giving out some instructions, Night Sorrow left the Qing Emperor's dynasty and returned to the Celestial Realm. He arrived at the Night Moon Villa. Bringing the Nine Heavens army to the Celestial Realm was Night Sorrow's idea back in the desolate city. If he had a good relationship with Lin Piaomiao and the stability of the Star Moon Lake, he would be able to develop. Development required protection. Night Sorrow had high hopes for the God-slaying team and the Nine Heavens army. The God-slaying team was also a part of the Nine Heavens army. Night Sorrow could afford to raise an army. Not to mention one, even a few wouldn't be a problem because the resources of a realm weren't as abundant as Night Sorrow's. When they arrived at the Night Moon Villa, Night Sorrow called for Ghost Monkey and asked Red to bring him to the Star Moon Lake. Ghost Monkey would explain the current situation in the Celestial Realm to the Nine Heavens army as a guide. Night Sorrow, are you planning to develop fully? Lin Piaomiao asked when she saw that Night Sorrow had sent Red and Ghost Monkey away. Yes, I used to have concerns about the Misty Dynasty and the surrounding forces. Now this problem doesn't exist. If the East Hao Mountain and World Edge Pavilion are hostile to the Star Moon Lake, I will bring people to flatten them. As for the Misty Dynasty, I am the Lord of the Misty Dynasty, right? Night Sorrow had a murderous look on his face when he talked about the Misty Dynasty, but he laughed when he talked about the Misty Dynasty. Not just the Overlord. In the future, I will be able to marry a daughter-in-law from the Misty Dynasty, Dechura said with a chuckle. Oh. Aluo, the Nine Heavens army needs an emperor. Right now, you and Senior Sandalwood are the most likely candidates, Night Sorrow said as he looked at Dechura. 1 year. Give me 1 more year and I can do it. Dechura's eyes were filled with confidence. That's good enough. Night Sorrow isn't far from a 3-star emperor. If he isn't an emperor, he can kill an emperor. If 2 more emperors appear in the Nine Heavens army, then it will be a strong army. Lin Piaomiao said. What we need now is time. But don't worry, we have to be patient. A few days ago, I was sorting through my storage ring and found something good. My main body's destruction attribute might improve, Night Sorrow said. It's not the Ash God Stone? Lin Piaomiao looked at Night Sorrow. No, I have a destruction origin stone in my storage ring. I actually forgot about it. A few days ago, I was planning to send some resources back to the 9 regions world. When I was sorting it out, I found it. I'm studying it now. Night Sorrow explained the situation. Night Sorrow had indeed forgotten about it. It was the Thunder Core Iron that he had given to his wife when he helped the fallen Jun Yunan in the Heaven and Earth Pagoda. It was given to him by his wife, the daughter of the Wuling Mountain Lord, Wen Yu. The destruction origin stone is a good thing. Dechura and Lin Piaomiao looked at each other because Lin Piaomiao had given one to Dechura. Yes. If I let go of the restraints and use my soul power to guide it, the destruction origin stone contains a lot of power of heaven and earth. If this continues, my destruction attribute will enter the 2-star emperor realm soon. Night Sorrow said. He was very confident in himself. The destruction origin stone is very rare and has different levels. Usually it contains the power of will. Very few have the power of heaven and earth. The one you got should be a top-level one. This is a good thing, Lin Piaomiao said. After staying at the Night Moon Villa for 2 days, Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao were about to go to the Heaven Desolate City again when Sandalwood came and went to the Night Moon Villa. Senior brother. Night Sorrow was very happy to see Sandalwood. When he went to the Qing Emperor's dynasty, Night Sorrow checked and found that there was someone in the Heavy Flower Palace, but Sandalwood was not there. Junior brother, I was worried that you wouldn't be here. You really are here. Sandalwood went up and patted Night Sorrow's shoulder heavily. Yes, I almost left. Senior brother, have a seat. Chiu 6 senior sister, let's have a family feast today. Night Sorrow gave up on the idea of leaving. All right. Since senior brother is here, you brothers should have a drink, Sikong Chuyu said with a smile. Thank you, sister-in-law. Sandalwood clasped his fists at Sikong Chuyu. Night Sorrow introduced Lin Piaomiao to Sandalwood. Sandalwood clasped his fists at Lin Piaomiao. Sandalwood thanks the War Emperor for taking care of my junior brother in the Chaos Realm. You're welcome. No wonder you two are so close. Lin Piaomiao nodded at Sandalwood with a look of admiration. Sandalwood had a strong fighting spirit. The first impression he gave off was that he was a tough guy. I went back to the Qing Emperor's dynasty. Since senior brother is not in the Heavy Flower Palace, I did not disturb senior sister, Night Sorrow said. Recently I've been busy with my cultivation and looking for a breakthrough. I'm here to discuss something with you, junior brother. Sandalwood said. Senior brother, please speak your mind. Night Sorrow was a little puzzled. His senior brother didn't ask for help easily. He didn't know what he wanted to discuss, but he would agree to it no matter what it was. Senior brother, I'm going back to the Nine Heavens Army. The situation is different now. Back then, I left the Nine Heavens Army to you. You could fight and rise together. Now that you're busy, I want to fight with my old brothers, Sandalwood said. That's it? I thought you were going to teach someone a lesson. Let's go back after drinking. The invincible commander of the Nine Heavens Army is back. New Lin and the others will be overjoyed. Night Sorrow was overjoyed. The first commander of the Nine Heavens Army was Sandalwood. Sandalwood's return was definitely something worth celebrating. No, it's not like that. Senior brother, you don't want to be a commander. Back then, I told you that you would be the commander of the Nine Heavens Army. Facts have proven that the Nine Heavens Army under your leadership is developing at a different pace than when I was leading it. So you're the most suitable one. I just want to go back and be a small soldier, Sandalwood said. The 7 commanders of the Nine Heavens Army are fixed. There's no such thing as a commander. Senior brother, you're the most suitable one to be the commander, Night Sorrow said. X/X/X/X/Y/G, no, that won't do. Sandalwood shook his head. You two are really conflicted. Senior brother Sandalwood, you can just go back and be the deputy commander. If I enter the Imperial Realm, I'll be the deputy commander of the Nine Heavens Army too, Dechira said. Yes, that's a good idea. Junior brother, what do you think? Sandalwood asked. As long as you don't mistreat senior brother, there's nothing I can't do. Then it's settled. Luo, you can cultivate with your true body and send your clone to the Nine Heavens Army. You should know a bit about the Celestial Realm situation and the areas suitable for training. Night Sorrow looked at Dechira. Chapter 1761. Sure. That's not a problem. As for assimilation, it shouldn't be too difficult. Night Sorrow nodded. The soldiers of Nine Heavens Army and Dark Abyss all knew about the relationship between Night Sorrow and Dechira, so they wouldn't reject it. Everyone drank a lot during the banquet. Seeing the development of 9 regions world and Chaos Realm, Night Sorrow was very happy. He told Sandalwood and Dechira that his main body was cultivating in Night Moon Villa. If anything happened, they could call him. Night Sorrow's doppelganger and Lin Piaomiao left for Heavenly Desolate City. Night Sorrow didn't know what Pu Luo and Great Demon King were doing over the past few days. They arrived at Heavenly Desolate City's Imperial Teleportation Formation. Sitting on it, Yi Shang and Mandela arrived at Heavenly Desolate City and went to Yi Shang's courtyard. Pu Luo and Great Demon King were still in Night Sorrow's courtyard. Pu Luo rolled up his sleeves and held a carving knife, working. Elder Pu Luo, you're not done yet? Night Sorrow looked at Pu Luo and asked. Just call Pu Luo. You guys came back so quickly. You have to be serious when carving the Tao Te Ching. You have to be sincere in your heart. This will have some effect. Pu Luo seriously carved the Tao Te Ching on a brick. Everything's done? This is yours. Great Demon King threw a storage ring to Night Sorrow. Read novels for free for a long time X. I told you the Ash God Stone is for you. Night Sorrow threw the storage ring back to Great Demon King. Just take it. It's suitable for you. I have no use for it. Great Demon King threw the storage ring back to Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow glanced at Great Demon King and put away the storage ring. Why don't you take a look? Don't you have any expectations? Great Demon King looked at Night Sorrow with dissatisfaction. Let me take a look first. Night Sorrow smiled and opened the storage ring given to him by the Great Demon King. There were 2 glowing purple stones that piqued his interest because he could sense what they were. The Void Origin Stone looked the same as the Destruction Origin Stone. The only difference was that they contained different attributes of energy. This treasure of yours is not bad, Night Sorrow said, holding the Void Origin Stone. Ha ha ha. Although I am not as fast as you when it comes to looting treasures, I am still quite capable, the great demon king said with a chuckle. Night Sorrow asked, have there been any movements from those guys recently? Do we have a chance to make a move? We didn't have a chance to do anything. They are so shameless now. Those fellas are together every day. But we have a new target. But since you didn't come back, we didn't do anything. The great demon king said. What's the situation with that target? Night Sorrow asked Puluo. It is time to teach him a lesson. He is also a shameless old man who takes advantage of his seniority to take care of weak forces. So what if he eats it? His table manners are terrible. Puluo nodded. Make him spit it out if his table manners are terrible. We will make a move tonight. Night Sorrow made his decision. After hearing Night Sorrow's words, everyone was excited, including the new members Ruisi and Yuzhu. Night Sorrow, we haven't done anything yet. Let's try it out tonight, Yuzhu said. What's the plan? Ruisi looked at Night Sorrow and asked. Do we still need a plan? There are 6 of us and the 5 of you are experts. You won't be any weaker than the other party. The 5 of us will work together. As long as one of us gets the right item, the mission will be completed, Night Sorrow said. Yeah. The 5 of us need a plan to get a piece of trash. Puluo, your Vajra area is the strongest. You suppress it and we will work together, the great demon king said. Okay, we don't have to hug the other party this time. The last few times were so disgusting, Puluo said. They brewed tea and chatted as they waited for night to fall to make their move. Li Zongyuan and the others were still together. They were also in a dilemma. They didn't dare to separate, especially Yu Chu. He had been shot twice by Night Sorrow and the others. Night Sorrow, Puluo, and the great demon king Lantern couldn't make a move, but they were all embarrassed. They were the elders of the human race, but they didn't dare to act alone. They were worse than the weaklings of the celestial realm. Why don't we negotiate? Yu Chu couldn't take it anymore. Have you heard of Night Sorrow negotiating with the demon-winged clan? He asked for 60 million Saint Spirit Stones and a lot of resources. In the end, the demon-winged clan didn't get anything. If we negotiate with him, I think he will cheat us, Li Zongyuan said. But if we continue like this, we will lose face, Yu Chu said. Yu Chu said. He felt that since he had been slapped twice, Yi Shang and Puluo wouldn't make things too difficult for him. Don't worry, they don't dare to separate, Li Zongyuan said. Li Zongyuan knew that others could negotiate, but he couldn't. He was the leader of this group. Night Sorrow and the others wouldn't let him go easily. Night Sorrow and the others hadn't left yet. Yu Chu came looking for an excuse to leave Li Zongyuan's place. He wanted to try to negotiate with Night Sorrow and the others. You still dare to come here? Puluo took out his brick. The great demon king also took out his brick from behind his back. I'm not here to cause trouble. I'm here to negotiate. How can you let me go? Yu Chu quickly waved his hand. At this moment, Puluo's brick was only 2 feet away from his head. Night Sorrow, do you want to negotiate? The great demon king stood behind Yu Chu, cutting off his escape route. We can't kill him with a brick. If he can change, then we can still negotiate, Night Sorrow said to the great demon king. If you want to negotiate, sure. Sincerity, we need sincerity, the great demon king said. His tone was exactly the same as Night Sorrow's negotiation with the demon-winged clan. Sincerity? After being extorted twice, I really don't have any resources left, Yu Chu said with a bitter face. That won't do. We have 6 people here. Wasting time with you every day is mentally and physically exhausting, Puluo said. Elder Puluo, you can't do this. Yu Chu was shocked because he didn't expect Puluo to be like this. Puluo was the elder of the law enforcement sect, one of the core figures of the Tianhuang city. But now he didn't hesitate to slap the brick. So what if he's the elder of the law enforcement sect? Li Zongyuan is the elder of the law enforcement sect. What has he done? Night Sorrow, what do you think we should do? Puluo looked at Night Sorrow. First of all, the 6 of us, 2 million Saint Spirit Stones each. Then we have to make some promises that we won't do anything immoral. Most importantly, we won't mix with Li Zongyuan anymore, Night Sorrow said. 2 million Saint Spirit Stones each. Hurry up and send them over. As for the promises, it's not important. If you dare to mess around again, we can continue the auction. We can't wait to have this opportunity again, the great demon king said and stepped aside. Yu Chu nodded and left. He could accept 10 or 20 million Saint Spirit Stones to solve the problem. Chapter 1762. Very good. This is a good sign. If he quits, Li Zongyuan's small gang will be in trouble. Pu Luo put away the gold brick. Is this really okay? We're not just blackmailing him. This is extortion. He won't complain to the Grand Elder or the 7 elders, right? Reese asked worriedly. Do you want the 2 million or not? If you don't want it, we'll each pay 4 million. The Great Demon King looked at Reese and said, What are you afraid of? We're not afraid. Are you going soft? Pu Luo looked at Reese and said, Elder Reese, we're not blackmailing him. We're teaching him to be careful. It's just a small price to pay. This is good for him and for us. Night Sorrow said, That's true. This is a good thing. We've never done this before. But Night Sorrow, you're right. Reese nodded. Let's go. Now we have to deal with that ugly Lu Donghui, Pu Luo said. The 6 of them left. The brick team was getting bigger and bigger. Lu Donghui's strength was at the bottom of the human elders list. Under Pu Luo's King Kong area, he couldn't resist at all. A few bricks hit his head. Night Sorrow and the Great Demon King hit the back of Lu Donghui's head with bricks. Pu Luo hit his face directly, and Lu Donghui fell to the ground like noodles. Lin Piaomiao didn't plan to do anything. She stood guard outside and watched for any sudden changes. Reese and Yu Zhu were holding the bricks in a daze. They didn't hit them because Night Sorrow and the other 2 were too fast. You guys are too embarrassed to hit them? In the future, other than Elder Lin, no one else can hit them. The resources you get will be halved, the Great Demon King said. What kind of rule is this, Great Demon King? Reese was confused. This is to tell you that if you follow us, you won't get anything if you're thin-skinned. If you're thick-skinned, you can eat as much as you want, the Great Demon King said. That's what it means. But I should correct you. You have to do justice for the heavens. Pu Luo nimbly took Lu Donghui's storage ring, and the Great Demon King also seized Lu Donghui's weapon. Under everyone's shocked gazes, Yu Zhu stepped forward, bent down, and smashed a brick into Lu Donghui's face. A crisp sound rang out and Lu Donghui's nose was flattened. Not to mention the teeth in his mouth, they were all deflated. Yu Zhu, do you have a grudge against Lu Donghui? Pu Luo asked Yu Zhu. No. Yu Zhu wiped the brick on Lu Donghui's robe and said, That's enough. You have a good understanding of the word, responsibility. Let's call it a day. Pu Luo gave Yu Zhu a thumbs up. Then the few of them left. It only took a moment for them to leave as quickly as they came. Starter on the top floor of the tower where the Grand Elder was, the Grand Elder and the 7th Elder were standing in front of a window. These guys are now organized and have a plan. Being targeted by them is bad luck, Lu Qi said. Although it can be troublesome, it is also a way to purify the atmosphere. They won't provoke those who have no bad records. They have a measure in their hearts, the Grand Elder said as he looked outside the tower. In addition, their small team is very cohesive. If there is a battle in the future, they will be the backbone of our Tianhuang city, Lu Qi said. After cleaning up the Tianhuang city, they will move to the divine capital. Although Night Sorrow does not belong to our Tianhuang city, he has made great contributions to the human race. Whether it is suppressing Mo Chenji's body or taking back the human emperor's seal, any one of them is very meaningful. So, there should be room for him to develop in the divine capital. You have a clone in the divine capital. Let King Yewu know, the Grand Elder said to Lu Qi. Let King Yewu arrange it directly? Lu Qi was stunned. Yes, after Yan Wushuang's accident, he was a little depressed and did not care about the world. Night Sorrow has taken Yan Wushuang's inheritance. This should be let him know, the Grand Elder confirmed the arrangement. Okay, then Lu Qi will go see King Yewu tonight. Lu Qi nodded. Little 7, your strength is not a problem, but it won't do if you don't interact with the older generation. Interacting with King Yewu is also a start for you, the Grand Elder said to Lu Qi. Lu Qi will do his best. Lu Qi nodded. The giants of the Demon Wing clan are very strong. Now, our city lord can control the situation, but the future situation can't depend on the city lord alone. So, the Grand Elders have gone out to seek breakthroughs. They will either die or return. In this situation, you have to take on some responsibilities. Pu Luo, the Great Demon King, and Lin Piaomiao are all very outstanding, but because they are young, they are not very stable. They need some time, the Grand Elder said to Lu Qi. Lu Qi understands. My clone is now at the city lord's residence, Lu Qi said. The Shindu city was the first city in the celestial realm. It was the most prosperous city and the core of human civilization. It was not easy to establish a foothold in the Shindu city. It was mainly because of ideology. The city lord of the Shindu city was called King Wu. King Wu loved to fight, so the city he was in charge of was not restricted to fighting. If you had the ability, you could survive. If not, you could get out of the Shindu city. So, the relationships in the Shindu city were very complicated. Some forces had to work together to survive. King Wu almost did not care about the affairs in the city. But some things that crossed the line were not done. If they dared to betray the human race, they would be killed. Lu Qi stood in front of the city lord's residence and stopped for a while. Then he entered. The guards recognized Lu Qi and did not stop him. The city lord's residence was very big. Lu Qi went to the Yawu mountain in the city lord's residence. The Yawu mountain was where King Wu cultivated and lived. Not many people were qualified to see him. The human patriarchs were qualified, but they could only wait at the foot of the mountain. It was hard to say whether they could see him or not. It depended on King Wu's mood. Lu Qi sat quietly in the pavilion at the foot of the Yawu mountain. He was the law enforcement patriarch of the Tianhuang city and the Shindu city, but he had only seen King Wu a few times. It was like he had never seen the city lord of the Tianhuang city. While Lu Qi was thinking, a man in a purple robe appeared in the pavilion. He wore a purple gold crown. His eyes were like the sun and moon of the Zhongshan River. There was no aura coming from him. He glanced at Lu Qi and sat down on the main seat. Lu Qi, how can someone of your level be so emotional? Greetings, city lord. I was thinking about something. Lu Qi stood up and bowed to King Wu. The man in the purple robe raised one hand and gestured at Lu Qi. Sit down and talk. I did not sense anything wrong with the Tianhuang city. There is nothing wrong with the Shindu city either. I am here to talk to you about something. It is also the Grand Elder's idea. A young man may come to the Shindu city to develop, Lu Qi said. Survival of the fittest, King Wu said. Chapter 1763. What did you say? The purple-robed King Wu stood up. His name is Night Sorrow. He received the inheritance of the unparalleled Sword Emperor. Before the unparalleled Sword Emperor's soul dissipated, he took him in as a disciple. The main thing is that he's a good seedling, Lu Qi said. It doesn't matter if he's a good seedling or not. What matters is that he's unparalleled's disciple, Fan Tian. King Wu shouted in the other direction of Yawu Mountain. His voice was like a wave that enveloped the entire mountain. At this time, a man in golden clothes appeared. He flashed and appeared outside the pavilion. Master, what do you want me to do? Go and investigate a person called Night Sorrow. I want all his information. King Wu looked at the man in golden clothes and said. When Lu Qi saw the man in golden clothes appear, he knew that King Wu attached great importance to this matter. The man in golden clothes rarely appeared. In the past, every time he appeared there would be a storm of blood. He was King Wu's only disciple, Fan Tian. He used the Big Dipper sword and was very famous in Shindu city. Bowing to King Wu, the golden-robed man Fan Tian left. Lu Qi, how much do you know? King Wu asked. Lu Qi told him everything he knew. The Merit Emperor's merit power is the power of the human emperor. He has no problem controlling the human emperor's seal. I didn't expect unparalleled to take in such a disciple before his soul perished. I'm very happy. King Wu squinted his eyes and looked at the sky. I don't understand, Lu Qi said. Go ahead. King Wu looked away. Many people know that the unparalleled Sword Emperor went to the Demon-Winged clan. Why didn't he go and help? Lu Qi felt that it was unfair for Yan Wushuang. He didn't need help at all. If Wushuang wanted to leave and come back, even if his body was destroyed by the tribulation of the 7 emperors, it wouldn't be difficult for his nascent soul to come back. Therefore there was no need for help. I just didn't expect him to be entangled with the Demon-Winged clan for so many years. It was a mistake. King Wu clenched his right hand and a dark cloud in the sky in the distance was destroyed. Then Lu Qi understands. Lu Qi now knew that the humans of Heavenly Desolate City and God's capital city had not given up on Yan Wushuang. After he finished speaking, Lu Qi left. He understood why the Grand Elder had told him to say that Night Sorrow had obtained Yan Wushuang's inheritance. Without this, King Wu would have been too lazy to care. He had started talking about the survival of the fittest. After he talked about the relationship between Night Sorrow and Yan Wushuang, King Wu's attitude changed. In Tianhuang City, Lu Qi told the Grand Elder about King Wu's reaction and made a decision. That's for sure. The two of them are sworn brothers. Night Sorrow has Yan Wushuang's inheritance. King Yewu will definitely attach great importance to him, the Grand Elder said with a smile. Grand Elder, now that Ethereal, Puyuo, and the Great Demon King have a good relationship with Night Sorrow, if King Yewu protects him a little more, his background will be strong enough. His development should be very smooth, Lu Qi said. Night Sorrow is someone who can go through storms, but he is ignorant about some things. In his heart, Star Moon Lake and his own realm are the most important things. He has level 9 merit power and will be the core of the human race. Therefore, friendship and the care of elders are especially important. You will have a sense of belonging. How will you deal with Li Zongyuan's matter? The Grand Elder looked at Lu Qi. Let's mess with him first. When he's done, there's no point in him existing. Let him go back to where he came from. Lu Qi said his thoughts long ago. He was in charge of the rules and discipline, so he would deal with such things. However, the things he dealt with in the past were not as high as they were now. The Grand Elder nodded. He trusted Lu Qi because Lu Qi was decisive in killing. If he didn't like him, he wouldn't show any mercy. Night Sorrow's small courtyard was of a lower standard. It couldn't be compared to the residences of the commanders and elders, but it was already the base of the small team. No wonder you were willing to do this. But this time that old bastard's face changed. Yu Zhu, who had hit Lu Donghui with a brick, was still excited. Yu Zhu, it's good that you have a strong attitude, but it's wrong to gloat. Do you want your happiness to be built on other people's pain? Pu Luo looked at Yu Zhu and said, Yu Zhu didn't know what to say. Pu Luo's words made sense. But soon we won't be able to play in Tianhuang City. We have to change places. Happiness is everywhere. Pu Luo changed the topic. Pu Luo, what do you mean? Whatever I say is wrong, what you say is right. Yu Zhu glared at Pu Luo. Did I say something wrong? Things can be done, but it's boring to talk about it. We still need to cover up our shame. Demon King, am I right? Pu Luo looked at the Demon King. Whatever you say. The Demon King looked at Pu Luo. Then you will be happier, Pu Luo replied to the Great Demon King. While they were chatting, Yu Chu came and handed Night Sorrow a storage ring. After checking it, Night Sorrow nodded. Okay, let's call it quits. Wait. Yu Chu, God is watching. Don't go overboard. If God doesn't punish you, you will. Pu Luo stopped Yu Chu, who was about to leave. Yu Chu nodded at Pu Luo. Don't feel pressured. You've done a lot of bad things in the past, but this time you've done something. Today is the end, but also the beginning. The heavenly Tao has a cycle of reincarnation. This matter is actually a cycle of reincarnation for you. It's not a bad thing because you have another chance to stand up straight, Yishan said to Yu Chu. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Knight, for clearing my doubts. Yu Chu is enlightened. I owe you a favor. Yu Chu bowed at Night Sorrow and left. In the celestial realm, Master was a title for those with high cultivation and high status. Mr. was a title of respect and reverence. Pu Luo, Demon King, you two are right. Compared to Night Sorrow, you're too weak. You took the Holy Spirit stones in exchange for gratitude and a favor, Yu Zhu said. Night Sorrow wasn't joking this time. We wanted to punish and warn him, but Night Sorrow wanted to educate him. He wanted to give him a new belief that Yu Chu wouldn't have any problems in the future. Pu Luo said. Yes, we didn't have enough awareness. It's not enough to cure a patient. The Demon King was touched. You two are too serious. I just said a few words from my heart. I didn't expect it to affect him so much. Night Sorrow said. Who do you think will be the second to negotiate? The Demon King asked. No matter who it is, it won't be Li Zongyuan. Pu Luo smiled. It better not be him. His Haitian dynasty isn't far from the ethereal realm. It's more suitable for Night Sorrow to develop. Lin Piaomiao said. Chapter 1764. Commander Shao, you came knocking on my door? The Great Demon King took out his weapon. Calm down. I have no ill intentions. Night Sorrow, it was my mistake to banish you last time. I won't say that I was blinded by others. A mistake is a mistake. However, you can't treat Tianhuang City as an enemy because of my mistake and cause chaos in Tianhuang City. State your conditions. If I can do it, I'll do it. You can stop, Xiao Jun said. Elder Shao, what have you been doing these past few days? Pu Luo asked. Although I left the cliff of reflection, I was still meditating. Xiao Jun explained his situation. We took care of a few people. Now let me tell you. Li Zongyuan, Zhu Chao, Yu Chu, Lu Donghui and Ban. What do you think of their characters? Do you think we were messing around? You are overthinking. Pu Luo said. If we were to mess around and have no principles, you would be the first person we would look for. The great demon king said. Zhu Chao Yu Chu and Lu Donghui. I understand. Night Sorrow, I owe you. I will do as you say. Xiao Jun looked at Night Sorrow and said. Since Elder Xiao is here, I will say a few words. First of all, the matter between Bai Chuyuan and I will not be resolved. I hope Elder Xiao will not interfere. Night Sorrow made his first request. Bai Chuyuan's character is terrible. He made up stories and framed me. It's good enough that I didn't look for him, much less protect him. Xiao Jun nodded. In addition, I would like to remind Elder Xiao. It's not wrong for you to work hard for the human race, but you must give people a chance. There are two sides to good and evil. You must be more patient with the human race. Night Sorrow said. This is my negligence. I will learn from it. As for the other compensation, you can name it. Xiao Jun nodded and accepted Night Sorrow's suggestion. There's no need for compensation. Elder Xiao, you have gained enlightenment. This matter has a perfect ending. Although I suffered a little, it was also a trip of opportunity. Night Sorrow shook his head. He did not accept Xiao Jun's compensation. Xiao Jun was radical in his handling of matters, but his starting point was not wrong. What's going on? Sigh. Xiao Jun sighed and turned to leave. Night Sorrow, you did the right thing. Xiao Jun really can't be dealt with, the great demon king said. I don't plan to teach him a lesson. I won't lead you guys into a ditch, Night Sorrow said with a smile. Well said. What should we do next? Reese asked. He had joined the team because he was worried that the core of the team, Night Sorrow, would cause trouble. What should we do now? Divide the resources. Night Sorrow walked to the center of the courtyard and opened Yu Chu's storage ring. He transferred the 12 million Saint Spirit stones to the center of the courtyard, then stretched out his arm and cut the Saint Spirit stones into 6 piles. You guys can choose first, I'll take last. The few of them immediately packed up the Holy Spirit stones and left, leaving behind a pile of Night Sorrows. Night Sorrow put his pile into his storage ring. Reese, if you can't do it next time, don't take the Holy Spirit stones. The great demon king glanced at Reese. While the few of them were talking, Li Zongyuan received news that Yu Chu and Night Sorrow were negotiating. This made him extremely angry because the people around him were already weak, and now there was one less person. \and 4x5z version 1h1d. However, Li Zongyuan had no way to stop this. He went to see the Grand Elder and Lu Qi again. The Grand Elder did not see him, but Lu Qi did. This time Lu Qi did not avoid the question. He directly said that he did not care. He did not want to avoid the question anymore. After receiving a clear answer from Lu Qi, Li Zongyuan left in a huff. Lu Qi clearly did not want to care about him. Li Zongyuan returned to his residence and was furious again because Zhu Chao had also run away. Li Zongyuan left his residence and went to Night Sorrow's courtyard to investigate. It was as he had expected. Zhu Chao was in Night Sorrow's courtyard, negotiating with Night Sorrow and the others. Li Zongyuan thought for a moment and returned to his residence. He told Ban and Lu Donghui to leave quickly. He packed up and left. He knew that if he stayed any longer he would suffer. After receiving the compensation from Zhu Chao, Night Sorrow and the others felt that it was enough. It was not a problem to directly kill Li Zongyuan. They rushed to Li Zongyuan's residence like a swarm of bees, but Li Zongyuan was nowhere to be seen. They went to capture Lu Donghui and Ban again. Night Sorrow and the others found that Ban and Lu Donghui had also disappeared. These bastards are quite fast. Night Sorrow, when do you plan to take down Li Zongyuan's Ocean Sky dynasty? The great demon king said. He was a warmonger in his bones. There's no rush. My men are still growing. They still need some time. Remember that territory is mine, Yi Shan said as he looked at the others. Got it? It's yours. You decide when to attack. The great demon king nodded. Now that the Tianhuang city is almost done, the Grand Elder and the 7 clan elders will not be able to handle it. Pu Luo said. We have to know when to stop. Let's go to the divine capital. Night Sorrow has no territory in the divine capital. What should we say? The great demon king looked at them and asked. Each of you will give us some territory. Yu Zhu said. No need. I will take whatever I want from my opponents. It's not fun to take from my friends. Night Sorrow shook his head and rejected. While they were talking, Fentian returned to Yawu Mountain and reported to King Yawu about Night Sorrow. After listening to Fentian's report, King Yawu paced back and forth and thought, Wu Shuang is good. He took in such a heaven-defying disciple. Master, this guy is the Merit Emperor, but what he has done is not flattering. He brought a few clan elders of the Heavenly Wasteland City and caused a ruckus in the Heavenly Wasteland City. A few clan elders were hit by them with a specially refined brick. Not only did they hit them, they even robbed them. Currently, there are 4 or 5 human clan elders who have been attacked. The one with the highest level is the law enforcement clan elder Li Zongyuan. This is a skill. It's the core no matter where he goes. If he's really unreasonable, the Grand Elder and Lu Qi will not let him do as he pleases. King Yawu shook his head. Lu Qi said that he wants to develop in the Divine Capital. Then the Divine Capital will be in a mess. Fan Tian said. Fan Tian, you're just looking at the surface. The Merit Emperor has merit. How can he mess around? At his level, there will no longer be anything that will harm his merit. Even if it seems wrong, it will become right in the end. The people he takes care of will definitely have bad records. Because people with good conduct will only feel close to him and will not have bad feelings. King Yawu glanced at Fan Tian and said, Master, do you mean that if he slit someone's throat with a knife, the person who got his throat slit must be killed? Fan Tian did not quite understand, so he gave an example. That's right. Good people will not be able to trigger his killing intent. If they are killed, they have a reason to be killed. Alright, clean up a place for him in the Divine Capital. It's about time. I have to give this senior uncle whom I haven't met yet a gift. King Yawu said to Fan Tian. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.